The following is a presentation of the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
Hello and welcome back into the Waynesburg University Sports Network pregame show. Tonight we have special action for you here on the network as well as a doubleheader of the basketball games between Bethany College. The women's team will tip off at 5:30, whereas the men's team will start action a little bit after that at 7:30. We'll bring you the action here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network with our announcers for the night. And now talking a little bit about the games that happened in the past for both the women's and the men's basketball teams. And we'll start off with the women's basketball team coming off of a 21-point victory against Teal College on Monday. And Waynesburg has had Teal's number over the past few years and over the past decade and plus. Teal College has only won 2 games against the Lady Jackets since 2010. And right now, if the President's Athletic Conference tournament were to start today, the Lady Jackets would host Teal here at the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse. I'm Riley Holsinger, joined alongside by Tanner Saprosky and Spencer Verteri. Spencer, how impressive was the win on Monday night for the Lady Jackets?
Well, you just want to start with the score. Obviously, you look at the score. It's a 21-point victory, and the Lady Jackets, quite honestly, don't get a lot of victories like that. They don't really get those dominant wins. Most of them are close games, but you want to look at the big three. Brooke Fuller, 18 points, 10 rebounds. That's average for her. Then you go to Marley Wolf, who finally had one of her better games with 16 points. And then Avery Robinson contributes 13 points and 6 boards. And then coming off the bench, Madison Dayton with 11 and 11. So overall, a great team effort from the Lady Jackets. And
it's not too often that this Lady Jackets team is able to get consistent performances from a lot of players not named Brooke Fuller on the team. So Spencer, how promising was it for the Lady Jackets that heading into this postseason here, that they were able to pick up a lot of contributing performances from a lot of girls on this team that might not normally be consistent?
Well, like you said, Brooke is always the main scorer, and I mean that'll win you some games. But with the 5-17 record going into the play-in tournament, it's going to be nice to see if Marley Wolf can continue to score, if Avery Robinson can continue to score, and if girls like Madison Dayton can continue to score. But then you got to factor in Anika Dansby. I mean, the senior Casey Castle, she had a rough night against Teal with only 4 points, but I mean, that's just one game. She's going to have another chance in the play-in tournament if it were to end right now against Teal. So if girls other than Brooke Fuller can score, I think Waynesburg's got a pretty good chance to move on into the playoffs.
Now, Tanner, you've been following this women's basketball team very closely throughout the season. How impressive was that victory on Monday night?
I think it was really impressive, and obviously I can go as far and say it was the best game they've played all season. One of the main themes of this team all year has been that they either start hot, finish cold, or start cold and finish hot. On Monday night against Teal, from start to finish was just a pure dominant performance from this Lady Jays team. And like Spencer said, other people were able to step up around Brooke Fuller to build onto that big lead and end up winning by 21 points. Avery Robinson was there. Madison Dayton off the bench. In the second quarter, she went out with an injury, and she had about 8 rebounds before that, a couple on the offensive side. Then she came back in the second half and just kept doing what she was doing all year. So whenever they put 4 quarters together and they have more than 1 or 2 people score the ball, you can just see how well they played. And obviously winning by 21, it's going to be tougher to do that against some of the other tougher teams in the conference. But if they're able to pretty much replicate that performance and maybe against some of those better teams where they're not going to be able to win by 21 or have leads that are 20-plus points, they might be in trouble. But you play 4 whole quarters and you get 2 or 3 other scores around Fuller, and you could have a good chance in the postseason.
And the Lady Jackets have been doing that more lately. We take a look at that loss on Saturday against Westminster. You ended up announcing that game with myself on that call for that game right there. And they kind of did a little bit of the same thing. They're just a heartbreaking loss at the end. And then on Monday, come away with that big 21-point victory. So how promising is it to you that the Lady Jackets are kind of peaking at the right time here?
The thing that I picked out from the game from Saturday going into Monday was I think Waynesburg did play a complete 4 quarters against Westminster. The Titans just got bailed out by that buzzer beater that wasn't really even a good shot, but it just ended up going in. But the way that Waynesburg responded on Monday, from the beginning of the first quarter to the last second into the fourth quarter, was all Waynesburg, and it's definitely promising to me, seeing that they lost that heartbreaking game on Saturday and was able to come out of the gates on fire on Monday night against Teal. So I think it's definitely a good thing this late in the season that they've they got a win like that under their belt, but again, they're just going to have to prove it throughout the rest of the playoffs.
So barring any drastic changes here, it looks like the Lady Jackets will play Teal College in that first round of the PAC tournament on Monday here at the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse. I'm going to ask this question to both of you guys here. Spencer, we'll start out with you. How promising do you think that is going to be for the Lady Jackets to be able to face a team against Teal that they've dominated over the last decade and plus?
Well, it's so promising, and it's a home game against Teal, who, like you said, they dominated, and it's in the Rudy Marisa, which has been filled to the brim with students. That student section's brutal, not just for the men's game. They show up for the women's game as well. So I think in that home court, they got the home crowd. They have all the factors to put together a win, and if they keep playing like they have been, it's a very promising outcome.
Tanner, how do you like that matchup?
I think you couldn't get a better matchup if you were Waynesburg. Like you said, they've been dominant in the two matchups so far this season. Now, of course, you don't want to overlook Teal playing them this third time. You still have to say, hey, this is a playoff game. We lose, we're going home. But it's a game that they should win, a game that they have to win, obviously. But I think it's a great matchup. Couldn't have had a better draw if it stays the way it is right now. But still, you just can't overlook it. You have to play like it's any other normal game and go out there like you would.
Big game coming up right here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network shortly. The Lady Jackets will take on the 5th-seeded Bethany College Bison. And when we come back, we'll preview and predict that game. The Waynesburg women's basketball team will tip off shortly against the Bethany College Bison. We'll have the coverage of the action for you right here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. And a key player for the Lady Jackets that they will have to stop in this game is going to be freshman standout Lindsey Garrison. Last time these two teams matched up against each other, Garrison had 39 points, and right now she's the top scorer in the President's Athletic Conference as a freshman. Obviously, it's going to be tough for the Lady Jackets to stop Garrison. Spencer, is there any formula to stopping her?
Well, I looked last night, did the numbers. There's not many. Here's my thing on this. She's averaging 18. That's the most in the PAC. She's already got 400 points as a freshman. I think there's only two girls on this Waynesburg Jackets team that can guard her, and that's Castro or Dayton. And you can't play them both the whole game. They can't guard her the whole game. If you rotate them two out throughout the game guarding Garrison, it might not stop her, but it can obviously slow her down, and because the Lady Jackets cannot afford another 39-point bomb from Garrison.
Tanner, what's your formula to stopping Garrison for the Lady Jackets?
Yeah, I mean, because Waynesburg's mostly a man-to-man defensive team, so you, like Spencer was saying, you have to find at least one or two people that can guard her on the ball, because in the first game, whenever they played at Bethany, Garrison, obviously 39 points, she outscored Waynesburg as a whole in that first quarter. And Waynesburg tried to put a couple different on-ball defenders on Garrison, and I mean, clearly it didn't work. That game also was the first game where Coach Jones didn't travel with the team, so that kind of messed up with the team's psyche too. But I mean, on the defensive side, maybe try a double team every here and there, not every possession, but definitely need to find a main defender for her that can slow her down, because you know she's going to get 15, 16 points at the least. So find someone that can stick with her on the ball, maybe try a couple double teams, and just be aggressive with her, really.
And the first time that these two teams played in January, it was a 21-point loss for the Lady Jackets. Tanner, you announced that game. What's different from the Lady Jackets team back then in January until this point now?
Well, again, I think the one thing was literally 10 minutes before that game, they said that Coach Jones wasn't going to be traveling with the team, so I think that had somewhat to do with it. But again, it was Waynesburg just got off to a really cold start in that one. I don't remember exactly how many points they had, but I believe it was single digits in that first quarter of that game. So it just continues with the trend throughout this season of they start cold, finish hot, or vice versa. So they started really cold in that game. There was points during the later parts of the second quarter and beginning of the third quarter where they started to cut into that lead a little bit, and they were playing really good basketball. So I mean, simply it just comes down to starting hot out of the gate and being able to continue the way that you played, especially like they did on Monday against Teal and Saturday against Westminster.
So we talked about Garrison a little bit, her being the best scorer in the President's Athletic Conference, only as a freshman, also the best three-point shooter. And then you also have to keep an eye out on this Bethany College team too. Mackenzie Mason, she's a hard player to stop as well for the Bethany Bison, averages right around 13 points per game this season. Spencer, I'm going to ask you this though. Who are going to be some of the key players for the Lady Jackets in this game?
Well, obviously, number one, Brooke Fuller. She's always the biggest player. But I think Avery Robinson, who had 19 against Bethany last time they played them, she was the only player with double digits. If she comes out and she does her thing, she gets them threes to drop, they have a good chance, as well as Marla Wolf. She's been playing kind of well towards the end of the season. If that can continue over into this Bethany game, and if she gets 14, 15 points maybe, there's a good shot, but Brooke Fuller can't do it on her own. There's just no way, even if she scores 30, that this Jackets team will win without anyone else helping her out.
Tanner, key players for you.
I think it's going to be Casey Castro because Fuller's going to do her job, get the stats up there. I'm a big believer in Avery Robinson as well. I think she's a really good player, a really good three-point shooter, even though she has some inconsistent nights. But Casey Castro, we've seen at points this year where she drops 30 points, drops 25 points, or whatever it was, and then we see games where she has 2 or 4 or even 0. So I think if she's able to come into this one, make a couple threes, stay strong on defense, especially if she's has the task with guarding Lindsey Garrison. I mean, it might be a tough night for her. She's going to have to put a lot of effort in on defense if she is that main defender on Garrison. But I'm more worried about her on the offensive side of the ball because she does have the confidence from three because she puts up a lot of threes, just has missed a lot this season. So if she's able to put together a decent game on offense, I think that could be a real key factor for this Waynesburg team.
And I'm going to double down on what you guys just said right here. I think the shooters will be key for Waynesburg because they've been really inconsistent a lot of this year. You mentioned Spencer Avery Robinson, how she had 19 in that game earlier this season in January when the two teams matched up. But she's had inconsistent games. Tanner mentions Castrol had a pretty good game against St. Vincent back in around November, had over 20 in that game, but she's had inconsistent games. And then we look at Marley Wolf, who had a pretty good game on Monday against Teal, had 16 points in that one, but has had inconsistent games. So if they can string together great performances from those three shooters, I believe Waynesburg could have a very good chance in winning that game. And now it's time to send it to our prediction segment here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network pregame show. Spencer, who do you have, Bethany or Waynesburg?
Look, I want Waynesburg to win. I really do. They've had a great end of the season, but just looking down at this 39-point stat on my sheet, I can't get over that. Lindsey Garrison scoring 39 against the Jackets last time. It just won't disappear. I got Bethany winning. Lindsey Garrison's going to do her thing again unless the Jackets can find a way to stop her.
Tanner?
Yeah, I like the way that this Waynesburg women's basketball team has been playing the last couple games of the season. Could have had one of the biggest upsets of the year, taking down Westminster on Saturday, had a blowout win on Monday against Teal, but just from especially being at that first game against Bethany this season on the road, it's really hard for me to pick against Bethany in this case because they were just so dominant that entire game. Lindsey Garrison, we can't say enough about her. She's going to do her work, so I have the Bethany Bison in this one.
Not so fast, my friends. This Waynesburg University women's basketball team just has a knack for giving up big performances to a lot of the top scorers in the PAC early on in the season. But when the team gets around to playing them a second time, head coach Sam Jones is able to figure out how to stop them, and I'm sure he's going to figure out a formula how to stop Lindsey Garrison and especially not limit her to only having 39 points. And I say only having 39 because she's that great of a scorer. But Bethany has struggled in away games so far this season. Bethany is only 2-7 on the road. So Waynesburg has the home court advantage, if you'd like to call it that, in this matchup. And it ultimately could help Waynesburg out, especially if shooters like Avery Robinson, Marley Wolf, and Casey Castro all have a consistent performance tonight. I don't think the Lady Jackets could lose if that happens, and then you get the normal Brooke Fuller performance where she gets over 15 points per game and averages right around that double-double mark that she has done for the majority of the season. But that'll do it for our pregame show right here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. Now it's time to send it down to our announcers for the night, Brock Owens and Carter Newcomb.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse for this President's Athletic Conference matchup between the Bethany College Bison and the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. My partner Brock Owens, me Carter Newcomb. This is not the first time these teams played this year. Bethany took a 72-51 win against Waynesburg in the middle of January, Brock, and that game was all about Lindsey Garrison scoring 39 points here against the Jackets.
Yeah, they talked about it a lot in the pregame, and it's warranted. Lindsey Garrison is not just a great scorer in that game. She leads the PAC with 18.2 points per game. She's a great three-point shooter, leads the PAC in three-point percentage. She's one of the top in free throw percentage. She just all-around great scorer in 39 points the last time. You can't harp on how good that performance was from Lindsey Garrison.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the key today for Waynesburg is slowing down Lindsey Garrison, finding where the shooter is. That's always something a coach is definitely going to note to his players. Know where two is at all times tonight, and I'm sure Coach Jones has told the girls that tonight. They have to slow down Lindsey Garrison, and they got to get going, especially Brooke Fuller, as you're seeing there on screen. Brooke, the leading scorer for Waynesburg, leading rebounder, pretty much does it all for Waynesburg as well on the other side.
Yeah, last time she only had 8 points but 16 rebounds. The leading scorer for Waynesburg last time was actually Avery Robinson against Bethany. That is, she put up 19 points in that game against Bethany last time, and she went 6 for 8 from 3 points. That was one of her better games of the season shooting. She's the second highest in three-point percentage in the PAC, by the way, Carter.
And we talked earlier about the defeat against Bethany defeating Waynesburg earlier on this year. Waynesburg was without their head coach. Coach Sam Jones was quarantined earlier on that week, and assistant coach Andrea Orlowski found out 90 minutes before the game started that she was going to be on the bench as the head coach for the night for the Waynesburg Jackets.
Yeah, that was her first time being a head coach, but tonight Sam Jones is back. He's going to be going up against Brian Sampson of Bethany. This is his 6th season as that head coach, right at the helm of those Bison.
Him and his wife are very involved with the Bethany College athletic program, as he's in his 6th year, as you just said, and his wife Erica is director of athletic communications at Bethany, and they have a son named Lucan. He started his coaching career, Brock, at Fairleigh Dickinson University in the Northeastern Conference. He spent some time there, and he spent 4 years prior to coming to Bethany at Montclair State University. But this year, he's got his girls ready to go. They've played well down the stretch of the PAC season, and they've got themselves into 5th place heading here towards the playoffs.
Yeah, and he's had an impressive career. Going back to that Montclair State, he was 107-14 in his time as an assistant there. And Montclair State, which is just a little side note, where Bruce Willis, the famous actor, that's where he graduated from, Carter. Just a little side note there, but that has nothing to do with Brian Sampson.
The more you know, Brock. Anyways, we're going to take it to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the national anthem and some starting lineups for you here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. Welcome back to the Waynesburg University Sports Network. Bethany and Waynesburg just moments away from getting started here tonight. We've got the national anthem, and it's been a busy week for both these teams. Both got W's on Monday night. They both play Saturday afternoon, and the PAC playoffs get started on Monday next week. And Bethany sits currently at 5th, Waynesburg currently at 8th.
Yeah, this is the second last game of the season for each of these teams. And as you mentioned, playoffs starting Monday. Waynesburg will likely be playing Monday. And if the standings stay how they are, with Waynesburg in the 8th seed, they'll be playing Teal here in the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse on Monday night.
Yeah, as it stands right now, Bethany's the 5. They'd play against Chatham on the road. Waynesburg would host Teal, as you just mentioned, in the 8-9 matchup here. But we're going to step away, and we're going to give it away to PA announcer Nolan Porterfield and the national anthem here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. The starting lineups first for the visiting Bethany Bison of 5'7" freshman guard Lindsey Garrison, Courtney Walker, a 5'9" guard, is a senior, Bella Scoble, a 5'7" guard from Charleroi, PA, Ashley Wheeler, a 5'5" freshman guard, and Kelsey Mintel, a 6-foot senior forward for the Bethany Bison. And for Waynesburg, it's the same 5 as typically it is. It's Brooke Fuller, Casey Castrol, Avery Robinson, Marley Wolf, and Anika Dansby. That's the 5 that we've seen most of the time for Waynesburg, barring any injuries or any protocol reasons for Waynesburg. It's the officials tonight for the women. Chad Titus, Eric Pryor, and Maurice Freeman are the 3 wearing the stripes for tonight's PAC matchup here, just moments away as we're getting the starting lineups said to us here from Nolan Porterfield. It's a great night for basketball, Brock. It's beautiful outside, but it's even better in here.
It really is. It's one of the best days as far as weather outside we've had in a long time, but the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse is where you want to be on this Wednesday night, seeing the action that we have here and then coming with the men's game that we're going to have afterward.
Seems like my guy, Punxsutawney Phil, might have lied a little bit to us. It's a little nicer than it should be during the middle of February, but I'm not going to complain about it. You know, it's a beautiful day outside. It's a beautiful one here for basketball, and I'm ready to get things going here at the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse. Men's game will be taking place later on tonight. So Waynesburg got to get back in the win column in the men's side of things. Some other games going on in the PAC and women's basketball tonight. W&J travels to Chatham to take on the 4th place Cougars. Westminster is at Grove City. St. Vincent is at Geneva, and Franciscan, the 10 seed, they're taking on the 9th seeded Teal Tomcats. We're just about ready to get things going here. Stepping into the circle will be Kelsey Mintel to take the tip, and for the Lady Jays, don't want to speculate too much, but I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's going to be Brooke Fuller.
Yeah, that's definitely a big-time guess there. No, it's obviously going to be Brooke Fuller. She takes it every time, and now you can see her making her way toward center court.
Battle of 6-footers, shaking hands, wishing each other good luck. We're about ready to get things underway. Tip controlled by Waynesburg. Bethany Waynesburg, a little man-to-man to get going here in the words of Bill Raftery. Wolf on the left wing dribbling in. Blocked by Garrison. It's going to stay with the Lady Jays.
Yeah, blocks aren't really part of Lindsey Garrison's game, so that's more the scoring side, but she gets involved in the defensive side very early in this one.
Robinson taking it out. Marley Wolf, long three off the iron, no good. Rebound goes to Wheeler. She has it top of the key, guarded by Avery Robinson. Down low, a pass, and it's good. It's Bella Scoble gets the first basket of the game. And it's 2-0 Bethany. Jackets out top, swinging the ball around. Dansby on the right wing, looking to feed it down low to Fuller. They do, and Fuller, layup goes in and out. No love there from the iron. Wheeler. The bank is open. It's past 5 o'clock, but the bank for Courtney Walker, and it's 5-0 Bethany. And on the defensive end, Garrison pokes it away again. Loose ball picked up by Wolf. Swung around by the Jackets. Skip pass to Wolf, back to Castro, down low to Fuller, knocked away. And Bethany with another steal. Up ahead, Scoble slows it down. Now to Garrison on the right wing. Back to Scoble. Garrison dribbles to her left, down the lane, shot goes up, won't go. Rebound Dansby, and even at her 5'4" frame, gets lots of rebounds as Fuller misses another layup. Quick 0 for 2 start for Fuller.
It's not the start you want to see for Brooke Fuller, but that steal is what you want to see for Sam Jones.
Castro lines up a right wing three, in and out. We're not on the West Coast, there's no burger joints here in Waynesburg, but we're seeing a lot of in and outs early on. Top of the key, Wheeler, guarded by Robinson. Dribbling to her left, Mintel. Down low. Little hook, and it goes. Courtney Walker, she's got 5, and it's 7-0, and head coach Sam Jones has seen enough, and he calls an early timeout.
Yeah, no points, just about, we're well over 2.5 minutes into this game now, so no points, and they're missing some easy looks. They have some good looks, and they should have a couple points up on this board, but they haven't been able to. They're just trying to settle his team down right now, I think.
And this has been something that's kind of plagued Waynesburg throughout most of the years, having these slow starts. In the last few weeks or so, they've gotten better with those. They've been able to, start games fairly well, but earlier on in the year, this is something that really hurt them. And not off to a great start, but that's why head coach Sam Jones took a timeout, try to rally the troops a little bit and settle them down.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the slow starts haven't been as much of a problem recently. We saw that basically every game for the longest time there, but in the last couple of weeks, that hasn't been too much of a problem, but it might be in this one.
Castro inbounds it to Anika Dansby, the point guard, junior. Fuller out top. Castro. Now to Marley Wolf. Tough defense from the Bison. Fuller, a layup, this one goes, and Brooke Fuller gets the Jackets on the board, or whatever Coach Jones dialed up in the huddle there seemed to work, and it's the first basket of the day for Waynesburg. Beautiful pass inside, and a layup goes for Wheeler. 9-2, just 3 minutes into this one. Avery Robinson, way downtown. Shot was off the mark, rebounded by Bethany, now pushed ahead up to Garrison. And Wheeler will set up for Bethany. Pass inside to Scoble, missed a wide open look. She could have stopped and scratched her head if she wanted to before she put that one up. She still missed.
That was a great pick set, and she did have that wide open look, but it was off Waynesburg anyway, going for the rebound, so Bethany's going to keep the ball in good position right here.
You saw Coach Jones talking to Marley Wolf there, maybe miscommunication on getting around the screen. Inside, Wheeler with the right hand, opposite side finish, but it goes. It's 11-2. Great start for Bethany. Down low to Fuller. Turns, misses everything off the shoulders of Mason, but gets the rebound anyways. Freshly into the game, averaging 13 points for Bethany. Wheeler lines up a three. Got it.
7 points already for Wheeler. Wheeler and Walker have been putting in work. 12 of the 14 points just from those two.
Wheeler averaging 10 a game, has already got 7. Well on her way to expanding on that average. Trying to get it down low to Fuller. This time she's going to get help by the way of a foul. It's going to be the first foul for either team. Taylor Stinnett, who just came into the game, is going to be on who the foul is on. Fuller's going to have miscommunication here with who's coming in and who's coming out. Dayton checked in. Marley Wolf's going to come out. Fuller thought it was her. Dayton, the sixth man, if you will. Inbounded to Castro. Robinson. Crosses over. Backs in. Gets it out to Dayton. Dayton pivots to Dansby. Dansby dribbling in. And she's going to be fouled. It's going to go on Mackenzie Mason. Second leading scorer for Bethany, 13.3 points per game.
And 6th in the PAC for that matter.
It's a pretty good sixth man. I don't think the PAC has a Sixth Man of the Year award, but I think she'd be in strong running for it, as well as Madison Dayton for Waynesburg. And Fuller, turnaround hook shot goes. We saw her do that earlier this season for her 1,000th point, just in the same hoop, same area of the floor as well. Jackets trail by 10. Here just past the halfway point in the first quarter. Scoble in the lane, crosses over, puts up a floater. Off the glass, won't go. And Dansby taking it up for Waynesburg. Down low to Dayton. Stops her dribble, gets to the floor. Right wing Castro lines up a three. Back at the iron, no good. Rebound to Anika Dansby. Fuller with it now. Off the glass, and it's good. Gives it a little kiss off the glass, and it's 14-6, and Brooke Fuller's got all 6.
All 6 for Brooke Fuller, but that was set up by Anika Dansby, who's 5'4", but 6.8 rebounds per game, 13th in the PAC, second on the Waynesburg roster.
Substitution here for Bethany. Mintel comes back into the game. Garrison pump fakes, dribbles in with the left hand, and Lindsey Garrison's first points of the game come off of a left-handed layup.
Took her a little longer to get on the board than you expected, but that was great speed that we just saw there, and that's why she's such a great scorer.
Robinson, nice dribble move. Hop step, misses wildly to the right, and now she picks up a foul. Not a good 2 possessions there from Avery Robinson. She'll get her first personal foul of the game. It'll be the second team foul on Waynesburg. Just past the 4-minute mark, just under the 4-minute mark here in the first quarter. Walker to Mintel. Deep three-pointer, in and out. They're going to call a jump ball as Fuller and Mintel, neither one of them wanted to give up the ball. It's going to stay with Bethany.
Both of them at 6 feet tall. They bring a lot of height to their respective teams.
Referees here going to have a little meeting. Discuss, I'm guessing, the jump ball arrow, whether or not it was flipped the right direction. And they come to agreement and say that it was right. So it'll stay with Bethany. Pass inside, Garrison kicks it out to Mintel. Dribbles in with the right hand, crosses the lane, pivots back the other way, and gets it to go. And Mintel gets her first basket. Graduate of Cameron High School in Moundsville, West Virginia. Off the foot of Walker. He'll stay with Waynesburg. Leighton Croft going to check into the game for the Jackets and give Brooke Fuller a rest. Someone here on the Waynesburg offense is going to have to step up and do the scoring since Fuller's out of the game. She does have all 6 for Waynesburg. Robinson in the high post. Dribbles in. Turnaround fadeaway shot. Won't go. Loose ball knocked out of bounds by Bethany over in the way of Nathan Grella. Look out, Grella, the ball's coming at you. Wonder if he got a good shot of that there. He's just taking photos for the sports information department here at Waynesburg. Big high school football guy, Grella.
Oh, huge high school football guy.
Speaking of high school football, Mika Dansby from Massillon, Ohio. That's a pretty good football town. Now up ahead, driving down the lane, too fast. Courtney Walker dribbled right around Leighton Croft. It extends the Bethany lead to 20-6. Into Dayton. Dayton, beautiful pass. Casey Castro, she cannot convert the layup.
A great find, though, from Dayton.
Good look. Couldn't really ask for much more than that. Just been that kind of start for Waynesburg. Mintel in the post. And she's fouled by Croft. Going to go to the line for 2. Be the 3rd team foul on Waynesburg. Marley Wolf going to come back into the game. Heading to the line, Kelsey Mintel. 57.6% at the free throw line. Stands at 6 feet tall, a senior. Cameron High School, not too far away here from Waynesburg. Makes the first. 15-point lead for Bethany early on. See assistant coach Matt Pioch there rocking the floral shirt. It's typically the good luck charm for for Waynesburg, but Bethany so far has really made that look silly at this point in the game. 22-6 as Mintel makes them both. Croft, her jump shot, a little long, rebound. Mintel, she's going to be fouled from behind. It's going to go on Madison Dayton. Her first, team 4th, 1 away from the bonus already is Bethany. Across the timeline, Garrison, only 2 points so far, at 39 in the last matchup. Still plenty of time to get there. Wheeler crossing up. Croft, and there's Garrison, a 3. High off the rim, no good. And Waynesburg momentarily was going to push it in transition. And charge is called on Fuller. That'll be her first.
Great job of getting set on the defensive side. Fuller had an easy basket. She made it, but just doesn't count with the charge.
And that would put Bethany into the bonus. However, with an offensive foul, he will not go to the line. Mintel rewarded for her efforts with a quick break here before the end of the quarter. Walker dribbling in. Little floater in and out. Ball's going to go out of bounds. It's going to stay with Bethany. Little discussion here. Coach Jones was not happy about that call. He threw up his arms. He knew he was right. He walked away after that, and he's like, that's not the right call. he just let the refs do what they need to do and have a little conversation and to determine the true outcome of the play, and it'll go to the Lady Jays. 4. Croft. Now to Robinson. Down low to Fuller. Turnaround spin. Rolled around and controlled by Bethany. Walker with it. Mason had a look at a three-point shot. Didn't take it. Drives in. Hands it off inside. That was Maury. And it's going to go back to Waynesburg. Dansby going to check in. Robinson's going to head to the bench. Just 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 22-6. Bethany leads. All 6 points for Waynesburg coming from Brooke Fuller. And for Bethany, it's been a pretty team effort. 7 points from Walker and Wheeler, as well as 4 from Minetown. Only 2 so far from Lindsey Garrison, the PAC's leading scorer.
Yeah, and Fuller has all the points, but she's only 3 for 7 from the field.
She's gonna get her first foul shot attempts here. And this one, is she's gonna go to the line. It's gonna be going on Maury. Fuller 73.1%.
Not bad for a center, but she misses the first one.
Much to her dismay. The stats would suggest that you'd make the second one if you're a 73% free throw shooter, and she did. 22-7, Fuller with all 7 for Waynesburg here in the closing seconds of the first quarter. Driving in, Mason a 3-ball from the corner. Garrison won't go. Rebound Fuller. And Croft, from a mile and a half away, is going to be about a mile short. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Bethany leads 22-7. You're watching the President's Athletic Conference basketball here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. Welcome back to the PAC basketball matchup here between Bethany and Waynesburg. As there's assistant coach Matt Peock. He mentioned earlier about his floral shirt. It's kind of a good luck charm for Waynesburg. He's 2-0 this year, or the team is 2-0 this year when he wears it. He's going to need to bring a little bit of luck to the Jackets. It was a pretty abysmal first quarter. Only 7 points, and all of them from one player.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to bring some luck. It seems like he's wearing it every time we announce Carter, but this time they're definitely going to have to come back down 15 after the first quarter.
Down 15, but I ain't hear no bell yet. This game is not over. A three-pointer from Walker, it will not go. Fuller the rebound. 22-7. Marley Wolf a 3. Off the glass with a kiss.
The bank's open for Waynesburg now. Bethany hit a 3 off the glass earlier. Now it's Marley Wolf.
Garrison thought about a 3 there. Driving inside, and she's fouled. Be on Marley Wolf. Be her first, team first of the second quarter. Castrol's going to check out. There's our executive producer of the Waynesburg University Sports Network, Jeremiah Miller, taking this one in from the bleachers alongside some good buddies, Travis Pianowski, Keegan Rabbi, and Michael Saliba, friends of the program. Our commander-in-chief, if you will.
Yeah, he sets it up, and he's taking a little bit of a break. You'll hear him alongside Caleb Yager for the men's game.
Garrison, a rare mistake on offense. Her feet were going before the ball was dribbled, and that is a travel, and in basketball, that is a no-no. So far in this quarter, Waynesburg has the advantage 3-0, but only a minute in, so not much to make of it just yet. Robinson, she's got a 3-ball. That shot wide right, making Scott Norwood proud with that one, and loose ball's going to go out of bounds, going to be Bethany basketball. Saw Dansby hustling after that one. She's the jack of all trades for this Waynesburg team. 5 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, and 4 assists. And she only stands at 5'4", but to get 7 rebounds a game at that height is definitely something spectacular. Garrison's rough night continues. She misses another 3-pointer. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Bethany there after a little conversation.
Yeah, off on Madison Dayton. A lot of the time, she's given high effort, and she'll be able to save balls like that, but this time it was just off her, and she couldn't save it to keep it in.
To Walker, guarded closely by Dayton, and Garrison just caught that ball and was standing out of bounds when she received it there, so turnover for Bethany, and it'll go to Waynesburg.
Yeah, it was just good defense down low in the post, and couldn't seem to do anything with it. And before, the only pass she could really make was kind of out of bounds there.
Good defense from Waynesburg to start the second quarter. Robinson with it on the left wing. Pass down low to Fuller. Shot is good from Brooke Fuller. She's got 9, and the lead's down to 10. Just under 8 minutes to play. It went 10-9-8 there, Brock. With 7 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Well, there you go.
Mintel, left wing. Out to Sorensky. Saves it from going out of bounds. Stolen away by Anika Dansby. And she got her shot swatted away, excuse me. Bethany bench, let them hear it. So loud I could barely hear myself talk. Great defensive play, but not a great defensive effort there on the inbound, and an easy layup for Marley Wolf. Sorensky thought about a 3. Marley Wolf draped all over her. Mintel's going to shoot a 3. Rattles it in.
That wasn't the prettiest 3, but the 6-foot senior was able to will it in anyway.
Hey, they all count the same, whether it's pretty or not. Dayton drives in, passes out to Fuller. Fuller shot, nothing but air. Rebound Dayton, she missed. Kick out to Robinson. Dribbles in a floater, little long. And then poked away by Madison Dayton. You see the hustle, that's what she's known for. Now Robinson a 3 off the front of the iron. Chaos ensuing. Bethany will call a timeout there as they were trying to keep possession of the basketball.
I could hardly keep track of what was happening. It was just going all over the place on there. But in the end, Bethany's just going to keep the ball, and they'll be able to inbound it. They have this 11-point lead, 6.5 to go in the first half.
Saw the hustle there from Madison Dayton. That's kind of what she's known for. She's the scrappy player of the bunch for Waynesburg. She's everywhere for them, and she does it all. She does it scoring, rebounding. She even gets some steals as well for the Lady Jays.
Absolutely. She's a very good rebounder. She plays 20 minutes a game off the bench as the 6th man, and she has 5.5 rebounds a game, 16th in the PAC. She also puts up a little over 7 points, and she's just been a really big spark plug off the bench. You'd like to see her get maybe even more minutes than she's getting right now, because she's been a big part of the success that Waynesburg has had and the wins they've been able to pick up this year.
She started a few games whenever there was some injuries for this team. As she started in the last game. Casey Castrol hurt her ankle this past weekend. Back in the lineup today, though. Haven't called her name much, but I'm sure we will as this game progresses on. Mintel dribbles in, kick out, Scoble a 3. Rolled around and in. Had some lucky English on that one and extends the lead to 14, and Coach Jones is calling a timeout.
Bethany's just spreading the ball all around. They have 5 different scorers already in this game, 3 of which have 7 points each. And that is Ashley Wheeler, Courtney Walker, and Kelsey Mintel.
See head coach Brian Sansom talking to his team there. They're up 14, but they're not going to give up just yet. They're going to keep pushing it and going to keep playing their game. Bethany College, located in Bethany, West Virginia, not far away from Weirton, West Virginia. As you saw Tyler right on your screen, a graduate of Weirton Madonna High School, not too far down the road. So kind of watching his hometown team at his school that he goes to. Definitely an interesting dynamic for him. Marley Wolf, right wing. Dansby to Fuller. Fuller misses the layup. She did moss her defender, though. Dayton gets the rebound. She misses, tipped around, and finally grabbed by the Bison. Walker in Dayton's face, won't go. Here come the Jackets. See a lot of that pass inside to Fuller. That's definitely who the offense rolls through is Brooke Fuller, and she draws a foul.
Yeah, they're always trying to get it inside to her. She's been a great player throughout her career, throughout this year. Of course, we know that she got her 1,000th point earlier this season. She's the team's leading scorer with over 15 points, gets over 10 rebounds a game as well.
Inbound pass stolen away by Mason. Dribbling into Marley Wolf, trying to draw a foul, and it worked. I don't know about that one, Brock.
Yeah, neither does Coach Sam Jones. He's saying there's nothing that Marley Wolf could have done. She wasn't really trying to make the contact. That was Bethany, but either way, it's a foul on Marley Wolf, her second.
Mackenzie Mason kind of looked like Justin Flack going through the hole there, lowering the shoulder into Marley Wolf the whole way down the floor, but Wolf is the one that's taxed with a foul. Now here's Mason working on it. Wolf again. Spins, shot goes up. Little long, saved by Mintel, but she throws it to Leighton Croft on the Waynesburg bench. Halfway point of the second quarter, 28-14. Gonna have a substitution here. Destiny Robeson coming into the game for Waynesburg. Gonna spell Marley Wolf. Robeson, a freshman from McKeesport, Pennsylvania, graduate of Amani Christian High School. Robeson on the right wing. Down low to Fuller. Off the glass, it's good. Brooke Fuller. Building herself a house down there. That's where she lives at, is that low block, especially the right block.
Absolutely. She loves that spot, and she loves to hit that hook that you see all the time from Fuller.
Mason, Scoble in the right corner, crosses over. Back to Mason. Scoble catches quickly to the lane. Floater will not go. Missed it to the right side of the basket. Castro got the rebound, up ahead on the fast break. Dayton off the glass. And she gets on the board with her first basket of the game, 28-18. Leads cut down to 10.
And that's a good finish. We haven't seen too many great finishes down low from Waynesburg, which is why they're down 10, but Dayton kind of getting the ball rolling on that one.
Mason runs over Madison Dayton there. No whistle. Walker drives the lane, up off high off the glass. No good. The fast break for Waynesburg. Dayton saves it. Goes flying into the wall. Timeout called by Bethany. Madison Dayton, you talk about the hustle. She looked like a center fielder out there.
Yeah, she went crashing into that wall. They're checking on her, making sure she's all right. She seems to be all right to me, but
Looked like
anyway.
Looked like a center fielder flying out there into the padded wall. I think she'd be a good center fielder. I think she'd dive for every ball.
100%. If she can't get there while it's in the air, she is definitely going to give her best, just like she does every single play in basketball, as you've seen already a plethora of times throughout this first half.
You know, the basketball season's coming to an end, and, you know, she played a fall sport. She played volleyball. She's playing basketball this winter. I mean, why not play softball in the spring?
Might as well. Go all year.
After all that, still 28-18. 3:32 to go here in half number 1. Bethany leads by 10. Morey gets it to Scoble. Scoble drives inside, gets the basket and the foul. It's going to go on Casey Casserole. That'll be her second. Scoble trying to convert the extra free throw attempt, and she gets it to go. She's got 8.
And she's now Bethany's leading scorer with that 8.
Dayton way up top. Down low to Fuller. The left hand won't go, gets her on rebound, and then fouled by Morey. Her second, team second of the quarter. Now Brooke Fuller will go to the line. She went 1 of 2 in her first attempts at the line. Shot up and good. She's got 12, and that's the deficit that Waynesburg faces. Second shot no good, rebounded by Morey, and a foul. Going to go against Avery Robinson there on the rebound.
Sophie Morey, she's not just from any old place. She came all the way from Australia to be on this Bethany roster.
Stands at 6'1" as well, from the Southern Hemisphere. Not just right down the road. Inside, Garrison travels. Speaking of Australia, there's a travel. 2:50 to go here in the first half. Morey will head to the bench for Bethany. And Waynesburg with possession now. 31-19, they trail. Lob pass inside to Fuller. Dayton slashing inside. Her layup goes. Dayton's got 4. Lead back down to 10. See if Waynesburg can cut it closer here before the end of the first half. Scoble. Mintel lost the handle on the dribble. Kind of funny there. She lost it and she started laughing. Kind of like, what did I just do? She shoots a three-pointer from the top of the three-point arc. Off the iron, no good. Rebound to Waynesburg. Dansby got a screen from Dayton. Driving inside. Nifty moves. Unable to finish it though. Fast break. Wheeler with it now. Gonna set up the offense for the Bison. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Garrison dribbles in. Shot got all of the bottom part of the rim. That thing came straight back down. As a flight risk there. Watch your head. Dansby inside. She's going to be fouled on the floor, though, before the shot went up. And it's going to go on Courtney Walker.
Yeah, and if we thought if Bethany was going to have an offensive performance somewhat like this, Lindsey Garrison was going to have to carry him, but just 2 points for Lindsey Garrison so far. She's 1 for 6 from the field, 0 for 3 from three-point range. Robinson to Robeson.
Tries to get it to Fuller, knocked away by Mintel. It's going to stay with the Lady Jays. Fuller and Mintel. On screen there, 2 6-footers. Now Dansby with it. Down low to Fuller. Working on Mintel. Shot rolls out. Dayton the rebound. Her shot short. Still loose ball fighting for it. And Dayton's going to be charged with a foul there. A hustle foul, but a foul nonetheless.
Once again, Coach Sam Jones, as you can see, not very pleased with the foul call, but it will be Madison Dayton's second foul, and it's the 5th for Waynesburg, and it's going to send Ashley Wheeler to the free throw line.
I mean, I think it looks just like on screen there, it looks like they're just having a nice, jolly conversation about, how the kid's doing and, what they're eating for dinner. No, I don't think that's the case.
You don't think Coach Sam Jones just invited him out to dinner after the game, or?
It doesn't look like it. First shot was good, extend the lead to 11. Second free throw good as well from Ashley Wheeler. Shooting 68% from the free throw line this season. Robeson on the fast break. Dishes it off to Fuller, takes a dribble in, takes a dribble back, and then misses the 12-footer. Picked up by the Bison. 48 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Mintel, top of the key, spins, working on Fuller. Great defense. Fans wanted to travel. I did as well, but not going to get it. And Garrison will get the easy layup and got herself her 4th point of the day. 35-21. 20 seconds to go. Shot clock has been turned off for the remainder of the first half. Dayton guarded closely by Mason. Inside the Fuller. Hook shot. Yes. Half-court attempt. It had the distance. It had the legs on it, just a little bit left.
Yeah, it actually looked closer than it was from here.
Yeah, I got on the edge of my seat there. I was like, I'm going to call a halftime or half-court shot here at the end of the first half, but that's going to do it here for us on the Waynesburg University Sports Network here at the first half. Bethany leads 35-23. Stick around at the halftime break. We got an interview with wrestling coach Headley. You're watching the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
Welcome back. I'm Riley Holsinger, joined alongside by Waynesburg head wrestling coach Ron Headley. Coach, thank you so much for joining me here.
Always a pleasure, Riley. I enjoy talking with you, and anything we can do for Waynesburg University comm department, you guys do a great job here.
And it's the first President's Athletic Conference tournament back for you guys in a couple seasons here. Just how great is it to be back in wrestling in this tournament?
Yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it, just being back home, and it's always exciting, the PAC tournament. You never know, everybody gets gears up for that a little bit more, I think, and you never know what the other team's going to bring, so it's always an exciting time.
And earlier this season, you ended up announcing that you're going to be retiring at the end of the season here. So how nice is it kind of almost cap off your season with an event here at home? Now you still have regionals and nationals hopefully coming up soon here, but at least you get to have the PAC tournament back at home here in Waynesburg.
Yeah, it is. It's nice that, having it home for the last event from here, and hopefully we're going to have some alumni guys coming back. So looking forward to just seeing some guys that, won some titles here at Waynesburg, and those meant a lot to me as a coach here. So having them in the gym and just with our guys, it's been a tough year, but, I'm just looking forward to them giving us our best on Saturday.
And you've spent a very lengthy career in coaching, not only here at Waynesburg University, also spent some time at Waynesburg Central, Jefferson Morgan. What ultimately got you into coaching? That's probably one of the main reasons I went to school. I wrestled, and then right afterwards I graduated, and my old junior high coach asked if I wanted to be a part of it. And
after that, I just really love the coaching part, and I get so much more enjoyment out of watching guys accomplish their goals and coaching than I ever did as an athlete myself. And it's just something I've enjoyed even at the high school level, just coaching different sports and just working I just think you get to know the students a little bit better, and just that relationship means a lot. Not just the wins, losses, the competitions, but just getting to see them in different lights, and those things mean a lot to me.
And how tough do you think that is going to be for you to walk away from at the end of the season?
It'll definitely be different next year, just not having to worry about, hey, who's going to make weight, who am I going to have for this match, those kind of things. Those are things that probably won't miss as much, but just the one-on-one time, just being in the room and having fun with guys and enjoying that part, those are the things that I definitely will miss.
And one coach that's been by your side for the majority of your coaching career, John Yates, just explain a little bit more of the relationship between you two.
It's just, he was the high school head coach, and when my boys started back in junior high coming up through, I said, hey, I'd like to just help with that program. Took me on. Then I went up with my younger son when he got to the high school level, and John and I just seem like we've always been on the same page. We think a lot alike, and I can't think of a better technician in the room. And just having him come back this last year and helping with our program again means a lot. He started here with me, and that's the whole reason I took the job. I said, hey, if you'll come on, I'll take the job here. And he's just like another head coach. He knows the sport so well and works so well with our guys. It's just meant a lot to have him.
And another coach that you've spent a lot of time with recently, assistant coach Gennaro Bonaventura, just how great has it been working with him over the past couple of years?
Really good. G's taken on a lot of the responsibility as just like a head coach. Like does a lot, the social media thing he's just really good at. And if you ask anybody, he knows every wrestler from everywhere, scouting, doing those, recruiting, and he's just done an awesome job with that. I can't say enough about how much he's done for our program.
And then over your coaching career here, not only at Waynesburg, Jefferson Morgan, or Waynesburg Central, you got to coach a lot of successful and accomplished wrestlers. Everybody points at Kerry Colac, Coleman Scott, and even recently, Jake Evans. Just how blessed are you to be able to coach some really incredible athletes and wrestlers?
I think you hit it exactly right, Riley. I feel blessed. I think God's just put me in a good place here at Waynesburg, and I just give him the glory because it's not me. I just think the people that I just try to surround myself with good people and good coaches and guys that work hard in the room. We just try to get the best out of them. I just, really think that I've been blessed here and throughout. Just, it could have been anyone in those shoes, and just I always just look at it as just trying to guide them to have the best success they can have.
And I remember in an interview a couple years ago that I ended up having with you is you said one of your favorite things about coaching wasn't really being able to coach those successful guys. Now, that's obviously a great part of coaching when you have athletes that are that incredible, but it's also those guys in the wrestling room that work hard. And the one guy that pops to mind for me right now is Corey Supon. Guys like those. What really makes you like coaching guys like that?
Just they're not just about themselves. They're about the whole team aspect, and they'll do anything to help other people. And, you just know those kind of guys are going to be successful when they get later in life in a job. And if I was an employer looking for someone like that to hire, that they're going to give you everything in the workplace because and he just would do anything, never miss practice, always there. And there's the time commitment that they put in and not seeing a whole lot, success on the mat, but just otherwise, it just says volumes of what they do. And, we've had so many of those guys that just contributed like that. And that's why it's been, for me, even Jefferson, Waynesburg, and here, all those kind of things. From the lowest wrestler we had, the most successful, those things those I'll never forget, every one of them.
And your son, wrestling runs in your family as well. Your son was a very accomplished wrestler as well, now an assistant coach at Pitt. And you also got to work with him a little bit here at Waynesburg University as an assistant coach while he was here. Just how great was it that you were able to work with your son in wrestling?
It was a lot of fun that very first year. Like, he was still training at West Virginia and would come into our room and work out. And, it was just a great opportunity for me as a dad and get to see him. And now just going and watching him at Pitt. And, we talk after the matches. We talk after he was at and just talk about the pros and cons, things that could have done better at the matches. And, it's just one thing that I always loved about that, that we have that great relationship, and he's went on and done well at the coaching level.
And I know this is probably a tough question to ask you here through all your years coaching and all the probably great moments that you've had, but if you had to pick one favorite moment in coaching, what would it be and why?
I'm not sure if there would be one. I know that question comes up a lot. Is there one particular thing and I can't say that there is one. I mean, there's highlights. I mean, I look back at the Teal and W&J matches a lot of times when we thought we weren't going to win, and somehow we picked. I mean, even the last one 2 years ago over there that we didn't think that was going to be able to win. And then I can think of the one time we're wrestling Teal and Anthony Bonaventura goes into overtime and then gets a fall, and just the excitement on our team bench and in the crowd, those kind of things, just really, and I can still, people had pictures of that, that excitement of everybody around, and those are things that do stand out a little bit about the program.
Yeah, and the last time that you ended up winning a President's Athletic Conference title, I was a part of the team back then, just a couple years ago, and it was kind of one of those moments as well where we were down in the finals and everything. We had a lot of people step up, Matt Lascola, Josh Kuslock, and then Jake Evans closes off the night. What will you remember most about that PAC title right there?
You said, I think we had a really bad first round and I can remember us just huddling together and just bringing everybody together and just saying, hey, we had a bad round, now we need to make up for it this round. And just seeing guys rally and just that, I think it makes it even more special when you think, we could have went the other way, could have hung heads a little bit, but I think everybody just pulled together, and, that makes it even more special.
So this is another big question right here. What has wrestling ultimately taught you in life?
I've always said as a coach, I think the discipline of it, my dad always just told me that no matter what I do, try to do it the best of my ability. And I think you do that when people are watching and whenever you're by yourself or you're trying to plan things out. When people don't see it, I'm still trying to do the best that I possibly can. And we've had a rough year, and I feel bad for our guys with injuries and things like that, but still every day just trying to plan a practice, trying to get our guys motivated just to get through, because I still care for every one of those guys that, how hard they work, everyone.
And one final question right here. What is next for Coach Headley?
Well, I have 3 grandchildren, so I got one that's just going to be turning 5 in April, little boy, so I'm anxious. I was just wrestling with him on this weekend at his house. He has a little mat, so looking forward to that and spending time. And then, just like you've coached, it's been 40 years. I started in '82, 40 years of coaching. And sometimes you feel like you weren't there for your family, sometimes missing some of their things. And I just want to be there for them and seeing their families grow up and spending time with them.
Well, thank you so much, Coach, for joining me here. And make sure you tune in to WCTV for more Waynesburg sports content.
It's a Saturday night. You know what that means. Time to party. Sam is having a good time, watching sports, drinking beer, playing Pong. Not a care in the world for Sam. Nobody at the party stops Sam. They let him walk out the door with his keys, even though he was stumbling, having a hard time to stand up. What happened less than 10 minutes later would change Sam's life forever.
Piracy is a crime. If you see someone downloading copyrighted material without paying for it, then you should inform the authorities immediately. If you download any copyrighted material from the internet without paying for it, then you should go to jail.
We're back here in the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse. We're about 2 minutes out from the second half starting, and Bethany leads Waynesburg 35-23, Carter. And last time these two teams played, Bethany was able to pick up a 72-51 victory. The leading scorers were Lindsey Garrison with 39 points for Bethany and Avery Robinson with 19 points for Waynesburg. Tonight, Lindsey Garrison has 4 points, and Avery Robinson doesn't have a point yet.
Yeah, they struggled so far getting their shooters going, and they're only shooting 27%, in the first half. That's not good there for Waynesburg. Madison Dayton, you see they're getting some ice on an ankle. Hope she's all right. We're gonna need more of her in the second half.
She has the second most points for Waynesburg in that first half at 4. Really, all the offense rolled through who it usually does in Brooke Fuller. She had 14 points in that first half, 9 for everyone else on that Waynesburg University roster.
Yeah, and for Bethany, it's been a pretty, team effort. It's 9 points from Wheeler, 8 from Scoble, 7 from Walker, 7 from Mintel, and just 4 from their leading scorer, Lindsey Garrison, which for Waynesburg, you take that, but it's also kind of, scary to think that she hasn't gotten going yet. What if she does?
Yeah, Lindsey Garrison isn't just Bethany's leading scorer. She's the leading scorer in the PAC, averaging a little over 18 points per game. And as I already mentioned, 39 points in the last time these two teams played. So she really hasn't gotten going yet. But maybe Bethany knew that Waynesburg was kind of going to focus on Garrison. And they're really spreading it around and just getting Garrison the ball whenever she has a good look. And everyone else, you go out and score some points.
Absolutely, Brock. And for Waynesburg, we got to get the shooters going. Robinson, Castrol. They haven't got any points yet. Marley Wolf had 1 3-pointer, but that is it from behind the arc from Waynesburg. Definitely something you want to improve upon. They just shot 1 of 6 in the first half from the 3-point line.
Yeah, out of the starting lineup for Waynesburg, 3 of the 5 starters have not scored a single point yet. That's Casey Castro, Avery Robinson, and Anika Dansby. 5 points for Marley Wolf, along with 14 from Brooke Fuller as we're getting started in this second half. That's Wheeler. Gets it to Garrison. Back to Wheeler. Into Mintel. The 3 put up, and it is good. That is Courtney Walker with her 10th point now on the game.
Courtney Walker having herself a night so far.
Marley Wolf has the ball now, top of the key for Avery Robinson. Inside Fuller. Left-handed hook off the front of the rim and in. 16 points for Fuller.
She kind of just willed that one, and she just threw it off the front of the iron and had enough velocity on it, just kind of rolled up and in.
Yeah, it didn't look good initially, but the end result is 2 points. And that's what Fuller was going for. Now Bethany back in the offense. It's Garrison, and Marley Wolf is there in the paint.
Marley Wolf? 5'5", the Wolf of High Street. She can do it on defense and getting some blocks. Love to see that for Waynesburg.
Bethany will keep the ball in the inbound. Goes all the way back to the other side of the court. And now Garrison has it inside the Mintel. A shimmy goes to her left, but overshoots the bucket, and Marley Wolf pulls the rebound down.
Shimmy and a shake and no make.
Inside for Fuller, but she's down on the ground, and they're going to say Mintel was a little too frisky inside.
Something I saw there during the foul. Madison Dayton back on the Waynesburg bench, lacing up the Nikes. Sure, we'll see her shortly.
Seems like she's going to be ready to go. And Robinson is ready to put up a 3, but she can't get it to go. But she gets her own rebound and puts it in. Avery Robinson on the board for the first time tonight. 2 points for her.
That's why you're told to follow your shot. They got a beautiful double screen. She kind of went through the barn door screen, as we used to call it in high school. Had a great look, missed it, but didn't give up on the play and got her first points of the day.
Scoble working against Wolf. Wheeler drives to her left, layup with her left hand, and in it goes. And back and forth, the Bison go with their leading scorer. Now Wheeler reclaims that spot with 11 on the game.
Little finger roll action there.
Forced inside, but stolen by Mintel. And the travel. She saw Wolf coming from behind, and she tucked it like it was a football and started taking off toward the end zone, but that's just not how basketball works.
Nope, you cannot do that.
That's what they call a no-no, Carter, but Dansby going back up the court, gets it inside the Fuller, and a good look, and a good shot for the bucket. Jackets trail by 11. Now Garrison around the free throw line, now kicks it back out. Wheeler will get a shot off, and the foul after it goes. Wheeler with an and one opportunity, 13 points now.
She's excited, and for very good reason. She's got 13 points. Averages 10 a game, and seeing there Madison Dayton going back to the bench. She went over, tied up her shoes, looked like she was about ready to go back. And she ran back over to the athletic table.
Wheeler hits it, 14 points for her. She averages exactly 10 a game coming in, top 20 in the PAC in points per game. Robinson gets it out to Robeson. And now Dansby loses the handle, stolen by Lindsey Garrison. Garrison headed the other way. Scoble into the corner. That's Walker, and she gets it to go. Courtney Walker, 13 points.
Trigger tray.
Her third three of the game. Robeson gets a screen, and now gets it to Robinson. Whistle blows. And Leighton Croft is going to be the sub for Waynesburg. Avery Robinson headed out.
Third foul there on Robinson. Likely going to guess that's the reason why she came out of the game.
Castro gets it to Dansby in the corner. Now Robeson will put up a three. No good.
It was a great move by Robeson, just was unable to connect.
That's Walker. And now Garrison at the top of the key. Mintel drives, spins, a hook, but it won't go. Castro has the ball for Waynesburg. Cross court for Croft. Croft loses the handle but regains outside the Fuller. Ten seconds left in the shot clock. Brooke Fuller out to Dansby. The three, a lot of arc, but it can't go once again for Waynesburg. They still trail 46-29. Now Garrison for three. That's no good. Hit the little cable on top there, so it went out of bounds.
Sigh of relief there from Waynesburg, because that's not the person you want to leave wide open at the three-point line. No. Got to get better closeouts on some of these shooters from Bethany.
It's been a tough game for Garrison from outside, though. She has not hit a three yet. Inside Castro, knocked out of bounds by a Bethany player, so Waynesburg keeps the ball.
The basketball went out of bounds there next to two football players, two wide receivers for Waynesburg, and a kicker for the Jackets.
Three from Castro, no good.
I wonder if they completed the whole catch there on the out of bounds play.
That's Stinnett with the ball, hands off to Garrison. And she can't make the layup, but rebound by Walker. Wheeler drives in, gets herself another easy layup, and once again will hit it. And Ashley Wheeler, 16 points tonight.
Garrison charged with a foul there for Bethany. She's had a rough night. You can see it in her face. She's pretty frustrated in terms of how her night's gone shooting the basketball. But luckily her teammates are picking her up. Ashley Wheeler doing the work for Bethany. He's got 15, and can't ask for much more.
Alexis Reed will come into the game for the first time alongside Alyssa Sorensky. Fuller with the ball inside, double teamed and a travel. She went up, but the ball was still in her hands by the time she came back down.
Look who's coming back in for Waynesburg. Madison Dayton, we saw her make a couple trips to the trainer's table, but she's back into the game. And yeah, I'm with you, Coach Jones. I thought that was a jump ball, but officials disagree.
We're going to have to see how Dayton holds up with her first action of this second half.
I don't agree with officials very often.
The reverse layup, and nothing but net for Bella Scoble. Now she's in the double digits with 10 points. And the whistle blows, timeout, Waynesburg, and the Bethany bench. Or rather, no, a travel. Either way, the Bethany bench very much in approval of that, and Bethany gets the ball back. And they have a 21-point lead.
Absolutely. They've played pretty much a perfect game of basketball so far. They're getting shooters open looks. They're playing great defense. And
another three put up a little long, though.
Even there, that's a great look. That's wide open for one of your better shooters in Courtney Walker. We've seen her make 3 of them already today, so not a bad possession from Bethany.
Dayton drives to the baseline. She gets a good look, but she can't put it in. Rebound Bethany. Walker coming up the court. And Madison Dayton's going to sub out once again. And she's headed straight back past the bleachers. Marley Wolf's going to come in.
Exit stage left there, Madison Dayton. She just ran off the court and out of sight. She's a warrior, though. We've seen her in and out of this game the whole night. And
absolutely. And that time, a foul on Avery Robinson. That was Sorensky headed to the bucket, and now she's headed to the line.
And Brock, this is going to be her first free throw attempts of the year.
Yep. So, don't know what to expect here from the 5'6" sophomore from Berlin Center, Ohio. The first one is good. And same for the second one.
2 for 2.
Riley Furlong into the game for Waynesburg. Rayleigh Furlong, excuse me, and she has the ball. Fuller inside. Hook shot, gets it to go, whistle blows. Fuller with 20 points and an and one opportunity coming here.
And what do you know, it's on the right block.
It was a right block, hook shot from Brooke Fuller. Have you seen that one before?
Deja vu.
Hits it.
It's a great song, by the way.
21 points for Fuller. She's 3 for 5 from the line now on this game. Sorensky around the free throw line, working against Furlong. She gets the contact and the bucket. So right back at you, Waynesburg, says Alyssa Sorensky. quickly. She's at 4 points and make it 5.
Comes in only averaging 0.7 points per game. That's going to skyrocket after today.
The press almost works, but Wolf has it. She drives inside, and the charge is drawn. So yet another foul on Marley Wolf. That's her third of the game. And Casey Castro and Anika Dansby sub in. Wolf and Croft are off to the bench. And Bethany controlling this one with their 23-point lead. Sorensky once again driving inside, and there is a charge from her.
Yeah, that was pretty cut and dry. Coach Jones giving a look that kind of reminds you of Coach Fusina. You see him when he gets frustrated. He does that a lot of hand gestures. Very animated coach. You'll see him later on tonight. And Jeremiah Miller and Caleb Yager have the call for that one.
Absolutely. After this game, so stick around for that action, but we still have the game to finish up here, and Waynesburg's got work cut out for them. Casey Castro has the ball. She gets it inside the Fuller. Fuller, it's tipped, but Robeson will get the rebound, puts up a shot, no good. Fuller rebound, gets it to drop, and headed to the line once again.
Well, we know Brooke Fuller's playing hard. She's got 23, a chance to make it 24. She's got 23 of the 34 Waynesburg points. So, definitely giving it her all tonight.
And she hits that, 24 for Fuller now. That's Wheeler taking it up the court. Now she gets it to the Aussie Mora. Driving to her right is Walker, and she puts it up and in. Courtney Walker, another good game for Bethany. The 5'9" senior at 15 points in this one. Rayleigh Furlong fakes a three, now drives to her right. Tries to get it to Robeson, but it's stolen. Sorensky up the court, gets it to Reed. Into the corner for Walker, the three, no good, a little bit long, but Sorensky pulls down the rebound. Fuller gets in the face of Sorensky, and she couldn't quite get it to go. And now Dansby taking it up the court for Waynesburg. Castro, a quick three, off the glass, and it won't go. No good there, and Sorensky gets it to Wheeler as she crosses the logo. Screen set by Mora. And the contact, hard contact on Ashley Wheeler. And they're going to call the foul on Casey Castro, her third foul of the game, and the fifth foul now on Waynesburg in this quarter. Each team has 5 or more fouls, so they're both in the bonus if we see any more fouls from either team with this 42 seconds remaining in this quarter. But for now, Wheeler gets her first free throw up and in for 17 points now on the game.
Bethany a perfect 10 for 10 at the foul line so far in this one.
Well, there it is, Carter. Look what you've done.
Yeah, I was trying to help us out in any way possible. You know, we're down 23 here. We're running out of options, so maybe got to just give some announcers jinxes.
Well, you didn't jinx them too bad because they got their own board, and it's kept there by Walker. Now Wheeler. Sorensky puts up the three, and the bank is open once again. Melissa Sorensky, 8 points all in this half.
When it rains, it pours, Brock, and it's pouring.
They are drenched. But now Castro will go get a good finish of her own. She hasn't. She went to the ground after that layup, and she has not gotten up yet. The trainer is taking a look at her. Casey Castro, that's her first points of the game.
Definitely not something you want to see from Waynesburg. They already are kind of dealing with injuries as is. She was hurt a couple games ago, hurt her ankle. And, earlier in today's game, you see Madison Dayton dealing with some injuries. So we're going to take a quick break, and hopefully when we get back, Casey's all right.
Piracy is a crime. If you see someone downloading copyrighted material without paying for it, then you should inform the authorities immediately. If you download any copyrighted material from the internet without paying for it, then you should go to jail.
We're gonna fade up to camera 3 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, take it.
Here in the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse, and Casey Castro got helped over to that trainer's table, as you can see in the back, and Leighton Croft is going to be taking this free throw for Castro. So she will convert on this and one opportunity. And now Bethany gets the ball back. It's Wheeler taking it coast to coast as time expires, but she can't get it to go. So the third quarter is now up, so we're going to take another quick break. 61-38 is the score, Bethany leading on the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
Have you ever been to the Eberly Library? If not, you should, because it's great. They have books of all different genres: history, biography, fiction. Try The Evolution of Life, Life of Pi, or Jurassic Park. So what if books aren't your thing? Try movies like Frozen, or TV shows like Lost. Books and DVDs aren't the only thing though. Take a trip to the second floor. Welcome to the Writing Center. These tutors will tell you everything you need to know about writing a paper, and they'll help revise your essays. Now let's head back down. Behold, the Knox Learning Center. Need to print something out 5 minutes before your next class because you procrastinated? No problem. You can also print off pictures of dogs. Because, well, you can. So grab your homework, laptop, and textbook, and study diligently. Bring your lunch too. Actually, you can't. That's illegal. Now you know the Eberly Library. Stop by anytime. Seriously, it's open all week.
We're back in the Rudy Marisi Fieldhouse. Hi to my mom and along with Carter's mom as well. I know they want to see us, but we have action here in basketball. It's Leighton Croft with the ball, and she tries to put it up, and it goes out of bounds off of Bison, and it stays with Waynesburg.
Look, Mom, I'm on TV.
A lot of new faces in the game for Waynesburg. Hannah Jones doing the inbounding. Destiny Robeson has the ball now. Rayleigh Furlong. Croft back out to Furlong. Now Jones fighting to keep the ball. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. And Furlong will put it up. And good! Rayleigh Furlong with her first 2 points on the night.
I mean, that works.
Whatever works, works. And those are points, and Waynesburg needs them. Now Bethany trying to get back on the offense. It's Alexis Reed. Inside. And no good, but the foul is drawn by Samaria Murray.
Little factoid with Samaria Murray, graduate of St. Vincent St. Mary's High School in Akron, Ohio. You may know someone who graduated from there.
I don't know. There might be this guy named, I don't know, LeBron James that went there. Ever heard of him?
I can't say I have, but I'm sure Joel Zellum knows who that is.
Well, Murray can't convert on that first free throw. Second one will go. So her first point of the night will be chalked up right there. And a 22-point lead for Bethany. Robeson to Jones at the top of the key. All around the perimeter, and Croft has it. She gets it to Cameron Watson, now out to Destiny Robeson. Furlong has it once again, 5 seconds on the shot clock. This time Furlong can't will it in, and Reed coming up the floor. Now to Sorensky against Furlong, and it goes out of bounds off Furlong.
Good hustle, though, from Rayleigh Furlong. Got some points a couple minutes ago and hustling after the ball in defense.
Alexis Reed on the inbound for the Bison. She gets it to Samaria Murray. Reed has the ball in the corner. She puts it up. The lefty shot, but a little too long. And calling the jump ball, which way the arrow is pointing. It's going toward Bethany.
Just 4 seconds here on the shot clock. This is going to have to be something quick from the Bison.
Reed once again doing the inbounding. She gets it into Murray. Murray dribbles to her right. 2 seconds left. She puts it up and gets it to drop. Samaria Murray now 3 points here in this quarter. Hannah Jones, the daughter of Sam Jones, gets it to Furlong, now inside to Watson, or at least tried to, but it ends up to Robeson, now to Croft. Whistle blows, and we have a 64-40 score with Bethany over Waynesburg. Waynesburg's going to keep this ball. Jones on the inbound, gets it to Robeson on the perimeter. Robeson, step back, not quite 3, but that will be a 2, and a pretty nice shot from Destiny Robeson.
Hit him with a little step back action there, Brock.
Impressive for her first basket of the night.
James Harden would be proud.
Now a turnaround jumper. J-Lo Wiseman, the 5'10 freshman. Croft working with it. Tries to cross over Wiseman. Picks up her dribble, gets it to Furlong, who finishes on the layup. And Rayleigh Furlong, 4 points now.
66-44.
driving in and putting it in. That's Marissa Malone. And everyone's seeming to get points on the board for Bethany tonight.
Well, that was some excitement from the bench, too, because that's her first points of the year. Can tell so, averaging 0 for the year, so once you get that 1, it's never going to go back to 0.
Watson can't make the basket, now headed back Bethany's way. Up, but blocked by Watson. And the whistle blows. Gonna stay with Waynesburg. Foul on Alexis Reed. So Croft is gonna inbound to Robeson. Alexis Mahaffey came in for Bethany. So she's getting her first action in this one. Robeson drives right, gets it inside. The Watson block Mahaffey, but the foul is called.
We're talking a lot about firsts. First free throw attempts for Cameron Watson on the season coming up.
No good on her first one. So Alexis Mahaffey drew her first foul. Third on Bethany in this game. Watson can't connect on either free throw.
Across the line there, Brock. I thought it was funny that it was Mahaffey because there's a town right next to mine called Mahaffey, right down the road from where my mom grew up. So I had to double take twice when I read that name.
From the corner, it's good, nothing but net.
Shinot.
That's Macy Shinot. Once again, first points on the night for a 3 from Shinot. Stolen by Bethany. Reed gets it ahead to Shinot, but she can't bring it in.
Shinot, graduate of Thomas Jefferson High School.
In Independence, Kentucky.
Good catch over there by Nathan Grella.
He's been seeing some action today. That's a couple of times the ball's come right at him. Well, he's trying to get some pictures. Inside, and that's good from Mahaffey. Do I even have to say it? First points of the game for her. Furlong tries to get it inside, tipped by Reed, stolen Mahaffey, but Furlong chases it down and gets the steal from behind. She's trying to stay in bounds, she will as she crosses half court. Robeson across court to Jones.
That had some mustard behind it too, Brock.
It really did. And Croft can't finish on the lay-in. There was a lot of contact there. Outside, Hannah Jones, no good. Malone gets it to Mahaffey, or rather that's Shinot. Reed thought about a 3. And the travel. So the pass was to Malone, but not enough dribbling going on there. Nia Coates coming into the game for Bethany. Robeson to Furlong. And Jones puts up the shot, tries to put it off the glass.
Looking for her first points in her collegiate career. Friend of the comm department.
Coates drives to her left between the legs. Working against Jones, gets it into the corner. Reverse layup from Sheetnot. And Sheetnot has 5 now. Croft drives to the left on the baseline, puts up a layup, and Leighton Croft gets it to go. She has 3 points now. Her other one was the and one she finished for Casey Castro when she exited the game.
Yeah, the southpaw using her right hand there.
Coates from outside, and another glass shot and in. Nia Coates, 4-3, and Bethany leading 78-46.
I don't know that I've ever seen more shots go off of the backboard than in this game.
Yeah,
in terms of like 3
at
point,
least 3-point shots.
In 3-point shots, I mean, we've seen at least 4 or 5 banked in.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe there's been 3 for Bethany, and then Marley Wolf had one as well for Waynesburg. And that's Coach Tim Fusina. You'll see him coming up soon here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network when Waynesburg takes on the 2-16 Bethany Bison's men's team. You'll hear Caleb Yager and Jeremiah Miller on the call for that one. We still have 2 minutes and about another half to go in this game. Avery Robinson back in the game, and she has the ball in the left wing. Now Croft gets it, spins away from her defender. Inside, it's Watson. Can't get the handle, tries to keep it in bounds, and stolen. The steal goes to Wiseman. Coates for another 3. And another bank! Can you believe this? Nia Coates for 6 points, her second 3.
Buy a lottery ticket. I mean, please buy a lottery ticket.
Seemingly every 3 is going off the glass and in. And the look on Coach Sam Jones's face says it all.
I mean, they're just firing up at will, and I mean, typically when you're shooting a 3-pointer, you're not aiming for the backboard, so there's got to be a little bit of luck involved, but I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, Coates has made both her 3s off the glass, so maybe she just aims for the backboard.
Bethany is a good offense, but they scored just under 66 points a game. Tonight, they have 81, and Coates can't get it to go when there's no backboard there.
Yeah, as I said, I was from the corner, so if she banked that one, then I probably would have just took off the headset and left.
That would have been a mic drop. That would have been it for my career.
I would have said, good night, Waynesburg.
But it stays with Bethany. The inbound and no good on the layup from Sheetnot. Croft headed the other way. Gets it to Robeson. Inside through traffic. Robeson misses the layup, but she will draw a foul. Heading to the line. Taking her first 2 free throws of the game.
Student section theme tonight, USA. If you couldn't guess by the flag there over Chris Agnew's shoulders.
A miss on the first attempt by Robeson. She has 2 points so far on the game, trying to make it 3 with this. Shot from the charity stripe, and she will get it up and in. Bethany takes over into the corner for Sheetnot, off the iron, but rebound by Wiseman, and kick back out to Sheetnot. Driving in, gets it to Coates. Good hustle from her, but she loses the handle as she goes to the ground. Ahead goes Hannah Jones, and she misses the layup. That would have been her first points of her collegiate career. Just a little too much on that layup. Under a minute left in this game. Coates drives with the right hand off the glass and in, and 8 points now for Coates, and she definitely loves that backboard.
All 3 field goal makes, she has this game all off the glass, and you know, coming in off the bench, she says, you know what, I'm gonna shoot it at will. 3 of 4 from the field she is today.
With 15 seconds left in this game, the whistle blows.
And that's going to send Hannah Jones to the line, Brock.
Oh boy. 2 shots for Hannah Jones. And could this be the first points of Jones's young career? She is a freshman, standing at 5'6" from Washington, PA. And there it is! The bench goes crazy. And there is a proud father, Sam Jones. She will miss the second one, but it doesn't matter. 1 point now in the books for Jones. And that is how this game will end. 83-48 your final score. The Bethany Bison top Waynesburg University, Carter.
It was really a blowout from the start. I mean, Waynesburg struggled to get going early on, and Bethany never gave back the lead. They led, I believe, the entire game, unless I recall the first basket being to Waynesburg, but they were in control all night. They played both ends of the basketball. They played great defense. They played great offense. I mean, you're not going to lose many games when you score 83, and you're not going to lose many games when you only allow 48. So, great game, team effort, if you will, especially because, I mean, just about every Bison scored tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. They had a bunch of different scorers, which really took a lot of pressure off of the woman we thought would be a tremendous scorer coming into this game. Lindsey Garrison only had to put up 4 points, but the team put up 83 anyway. Even though she put up 4, she's the leading scorer in the PAC, put up 39 last time against Waynesburg when Bethany put up 72 against them. But everyone else was chipping in. Ashley Wheeler with 17 points, Courtney Walker 15, and there was just a lot of other scorers that contributed for the Bison.
Yeah, and you see the team over there in the corner around Casey Castro saying a prayer, hope she's all right. Senior from South Park, PA, South Park High School. Only one more regular season game left, and what should be a home game here in the playoffs as well, so maybe a second. Hopefully, she could be healthy for that as well, and just got to hope for the best with her. She plays her heart out every night. Tough loss for the Jackets, though.
Yeah, it is a tough loss, and speaking of playing their heart out, Brooke Fuller with 24 points, 8 rebounds in this game, so great game for her. And she scored half of Waynesburg's points. But stay tuned here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. We have men's basketball coming up. But the final score for this one, 83-48, Bethany over Waynesburg.
Have you ever been to the Everly Library? If not, you should, because it's great. They have books of all different genres: history, biography, fiction. Try The Evolution of Life, Life of Pi, or Jurassic Park. So what if books aren't your thing? Try movies like Frozen, or TV shows like Lost. Books and DVDs aren't the only thing though. Take a trip to the second floor. Welcome to the Writing Center. These tutors will tell you everything you need to know about writing a paper, and they'll help revise your essays. Now let's head back down. Behold, the Knox Learning Center. Need to print something out 5 minutes before your next class because you procrastinated? No problem. You can also print off pictures of dogs. Because, well, you can. So grab your homework, laptop, and textbook, and study diligently. Bring your lunch too. Actually, you can't. That's illegal. Now you know the Everly Library. Stop by anytime. Seriously, it's open all week.
You're watching WCTV, where we aim to bring you the best local coverage of what you care about most. Everything from local businesses to hometown sports and the latest weather. We're keeping up to date with what you need to know about issues that affect our campus and our community. We're telling the stories that matter, celebrating our past, our future, and our potential. So tune in for all the latest buzz right here on WCTV Channel 14, Waynesburg.
We're gonna fade up to camera 3 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, take it.
It's a Saturday night. You know what that means. Time to party. Sam is having a good time, watching sports, drinking beer, playing pong. Not a care in the world for Sam. Nobody at the party stopped Sam. They let him walk out the door with his keys, even though he was stumbling, having a hard time to stand up. What happened less than 10 minutes later would change Sam's life forever.
Piracy is a crime. If you see someone downloading copyrighted material without paying for it, then you should inform the authorities immediately. If you download any copyrighted material from the internet without paying for it, then you should go to jail.
You're watching WCTV, where we aim to bring you the best local coverage of what you care about most. Everything from local businesses to hometown sports and the latest weather. We're keeping up to date with what you need to know about issues that affect our campus and our community. We're telling the stories that matter, celebrating our past, our future, and our potential. So tune in for all the latest buzz right here on WCTV Channel 14, Waynesburg.
Have you ever been to the Everly Library? If not, you should, because it's great. They have books of all different genres: history, biography, fiction. Try The Evolution of Life, Life of Pi, or Jurassic Park. So what if books aren't your thing? Try movies like Frozen, or TV shows like Lost. Books and DVDs aren't the only thing though. Take a trip to the second floor. Welcome to the Writing Center. These tutors will tell you everything you need to know about writing a paper, and they'll help revise your essays. Now let's head back down. Behold, the Knox Learning Center. Need to print something out 5 minutes before your next class because you procrastinated? No problem. You can also print off pictures of dogs. Because, well, you can. So grab your homework, laptop, and textbook, and study diligently. Bring your lunch too. Actually, you can't. That's illegal. Now you know the Everly Library. Stop by anytime. Seriously, it's open all week.
We're gonna fade up to camera 3 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, take it.
Piracy is a crime. If you see someone downloading copyrighted material without paying for it, then you should inform the authorities immediately. If If you download any copyrighted material from the internet without paying for it, then you should go to jail.
It's a Saturday night. You know what that means. Time to party. Sam is having a good time, watching sports, drinking beer, playing Pong. Not a care in the world for Sam. Nobody at the party stops Sam. They let him walk out the door with his keys, even though he was stumbling, having a hard time to stand up. What happened less than 10 minutes later would change Sam's life forever.
The Waynesburg men's basketball team has had a little rough stretch as of late here on a 4-game losing streak. Back here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network pregame show, I'm Riley Holsinger, going to be joined alongside by Tanner Sprosky and Spencer Ferteri. Once again, guys, it's been rough for the men's basketball team, like I mentioned. Now on the season, the team is 12-11, 8-8 in the conference. Just lost a big overtime game on Monday against Teal, a team that the Yellow Jackets definitely should have beaten. Tanner, I'm going to ask you this first. What has gone wrong for the Yellow Jackets as of late?
It's kind of strange the way it happened because the women's team started off not so well and the men's team was looking like one of the best teams in the conference. Now they kind of switched a little bit. The women's team, not the best team in the conference, are up there, but they've been playing better is my point. But this men's team, the last couple games, they've had the lead in the first half, even a double-digit lead at halftime going back to Westminster. Had the lead against W&J, played pretty well in that first half against Teal, and they kind of just, I don't know if it's them getting tired. That seems to be the message for this men's team of maybe not enough subs, not enough playing time for guys off the bench. But, I mean, in the second half, the offense just drops off, and they're shooting 20%, 25%. Matt Popek's not being as aggressive as he normally is. So can't exactly put my finger on what it is, but it seems like the team's kind of just getting burnt out in the second half, and the offense is just dropping off completely.
Yeah, it seemed like Popek was slowing down there a little bit the past couple of weeks and everything, but in that loss on Monday, he had a pretty good performance, kind of like the Matt Popek of old, 22 points, 8 for 15 shooting. Nobody else had over 10 points, though, in that loss. Spencer, in your eyes, what has been going wrong for this men's basketball team?
Well, this little 6-7-man rotation, it worked in the beginning of the year, but like Tanner stated, in the second half of games, guys like Knotts, even Popek, Kirkman, they're all just gassed. I mean, it takes a lot of energy to play a whole season running up and down the court when really Fusina's only subbing in Jay Scheidt, maybe Anton Baker or John Tastinger. So I think it's time for a change, and especially with Kirkman out, more guys are going to be seeing time, like John Tastinger, Jay Scheidt, Anton Baker should all get more time. But I think the 6- and 7-man rotation is a bust. I think it's over. It worked for a little bit, but 4-game losing streak, they're now 12-11. It's time for a change in the rotations.
And it's interesting, too, because when you follow basketball and everything, you see a lot of NBA teams use that more when it comes around the playoff time and everything, whereas Waynesburg's pretty much ran that 6, 7, 8-man rotation the whole season. Just how tough is that for any team to deal with, Spencer?
Well, and they ran it the whole season, and yeah, they get a day or two of rest, but that's not enough when guys like Knotts and Popek are almost playing the entire game. They play a 40-minute game. They go and get a day or two of rest, and then they go back, and Fusina plays both Knotts and Popek almost the whole game the next game. So it's not like they don't have a bench. There are guys on that bench, Stephen Ang, Anton Baker, Jake Scheidt. Those are all guys who can play in this D3 college level that just don't get subbed in enough for that reason. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, and some guys that have had some pretty solid performances as of late but didn't have a solid performance on Monday would be Jansen Knotts and Najon Kirkman. Jansen Knotts on Monday, 1 for 14, and then Najon Kirkman, 3 for 14. And those guys have been pretty consistent for this men's basketball team all season long. Knotts, pretty much the past couple of weeks, it seems like he's been averaging 16 points every single week. He's just been impressive this whole second half of the season. And Najon Kirkman, he's been a great replacement for Isaiah Alonso down low. But on Monday, Najon Kirkman goes down with an injury that could be a huge loss for the Yellow Jackets, Tanner, if he doesn't come back soon.
I think it's a very big loss. I think behind Matt Popek, I think Najon Kirkman has been the best player for this Waynesburg team, and it's only his first season, his last season as a grad student. But I think the things that he's done with this team this year have been just outstanding. He's put up multiple double-doubles, 15-plus rebound games. He's stepping out, hitting a couple threes every once in a while. Stay strong on defense. He's been in foul trouble a little bit the last couple games, but I think, like I said, outside of Popek, I think he's been the best player on this team, and if he's not able to recover in time for the PAC tournament, I think this Waynesburg team might be in a little bit of trouble.
Now, if you look at the standings here, it looks like this should be an easy win for the Yellow Jackets because Bethany, the second to last team in the conference, but on Monday, Waynesburg also played a team that they should have beaten as well in the Teal College Tomcats. How worried are you for the Yellow Jackets in this game, Spencer?
I'm a little worried because, like you said, that Monday game against Teal, that was a must-win game, especially after they were up against Westminster and then Westminster comes back and beats them. Teal should have been like that revenge game. That should have been the game they come out, they're all mad, they come in and blow out Teal, but that just wasn't the case. It ends up going into overtime and they end up tragically losing. And like I said, that's a must-win game. And I mean, yeah, guys didn't do so well. Popek with 22, and he was the only one in double digits. Knotts had a rough game, but he's allowed to have that rough game. He's had a great stretch. This is really the first rough game he's had over this past 3 or 4 week stretch of games. But I'm a little worried going into these last 2 games and into the PAC tournament.
Tanner, what are your keys for Waynesburg to win this game?
Stay strong on defense like they've been doing all season, and just have an average game on offense, really. Because if you hold a team to 50 points, which they've done a couple times tonight, they held Teal to 55, and they played an extra frame in overtime there. So if you just have a decent game on offense and stay and play to your strengths, which is defense, that's been the key for them all season, I don't think they should have a problem taking down Bethany. I am a little bit worried just because the way that the season has kind of fallen apart for them, I guess, if you want to say, a 4-game losing streak. But, I mean, just play hard on defense like you usually do, have a decent game on offense, and I definitely don't think they should lose this game. It's definitely possible, but just do those two things and you come out with a victory.
Spencer, what are your keys for Waynesburg to win?
Well, like Tanner said, the defensive side, and the talk around here is if you don't play defense, you're just not going to get subbed in here. But I think the other key is Jansen Knotts. The first time they played Bethany, 21 points, 10 rebounds. That was his first game where he came into this stretch. This is the game that started his stretch of 3 or 4 weeks of just averaging 16 points along with a few boards and just pretty much dominating behind Popek. So Jansen Knotts' aspect of this game should be, okay, this is where my stretch started and I'm going to resume it. And this should be almost a revenge game for him. He only had 6 points against Teal. This is Bethany, who they blew out last time they played. This should be a game where he scores at least 20 points.
All right, who do you have winning this game, Bethany or Waynesburg, Spencer?
Well, going back to back, Waynesburg beat Bethany the first time. They're going to beat him again. Jansen Knotts with a great first game against Bethany the first time. He's going to do it again. Obviously, Popek, he had 19 last time they played Bethany. He's going to do what he does as well. And now, if Kirkman plays, he should be well. He's probably going to get a minutes restriction if he's in. If he's not in, more guys will see playing time. That's the only part I'm a little worried about is if he plays or if he doesn't. We don't know that yet. But right now, if Jansen Knotts and Matt Popek play like they have been, Waynesburg will take the win.
Tanner, Yellow Jackets or Bison?
Waynesburg blew out the Bison the first matchup on the season. I don't think there's really a question that Waynesburg's the better team, the more talented team. So, I mean, simply put, I'm taking Waynesburg.
I'm going to agree with you guys here. I'm also going to take Waynesburg in this game. I think it's going to really depend on that sophomore duo of Jansen Knotts and Bryson Wilt. If Jansen Knotts plays the way how he has been playing over the past couple of weeks, it should be another easy win for the Yellow Jackets if Popek does what he normally does on offense as well. And then Bryson Wilt, he is a very careful player with his shot selection, but I'm going to look for him to get some easy open looks tonight, and he's going to make those looks because he is pretty efficient on the court when he gets those open looks. But thank you for tuning in to the Waynesburg University Sports Network pregame show. Now it is time to send it down to our announcers at the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse with Caleb Yager and Jeremiah Miller.
Welcome back to the Waynesburg University Sports Network here at the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse. It's the second match of the doubleheader between the visiting Bethany Bison and the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets. I'm Caleb Yager alongside my partner and good friend, Jeremiah Miller. We've got a good matchup for you today between the Bison and the Yellow Jackets, but the first matchup belonged all to the Bethany Bison. 83-48 victory for the visiting Bethany Bison. And Jeremiah, from that game, to put it simply, Bethany was just hitting shot after shot after shot, and the bank was certainly open after hours on a Wednesday.
Oh, Bethany couldn't miss even if they wanted to, and Waynesburg couldn't make it. It was all Bethany, Caleb. I mean, we were here watching it, and we were in awe. Even the JV players for Bethany couldn't miss, and just not a good night to be the Yellow Jacket, but hopefully we can rebound here. Big game for the Yellow Jackets coming up, Caleb, and especially as far as standings go right now, Caleb, with the Yellow Jackets sitting in 5th place.
Certainly a big game indeed, not just for standings, but kind of a bit of a morale boost. The Yellow Jackets have lost 4 in a row, and they've been all pretty close games, and they've been in all of those games. We'll take a look at the most recent loss to the Teal Tomcats. They beat them the first time, but on Monday night, it was a 55-50 loss to the Tomcats. Waynesburg is 12-11 in overall standings, 8-8 in the conference. And in that Teal game, Waynesburg was down 26-23 at halftime. They got the 1-point lead, came down to free throws. Marlon Ellerby went to the line, made 1 for 2 to tie the game. The Yellow Jackets got outscored then 11-6 in overtime. Matt Popek led the way with 22 points, 4 of 8 from the 3-point line. Jansen Knotts, a little bit of a disappointing night, 6.6 rebounds, but the biggest concern, there is no Najon Kirkman dressed. He only had 6 points and 6 rebounds against Teal, but he left the game with a serious injury, which could heavily impact the Jackets.
Yeah, definitely going to be missing Najon Kirkman. Of course, Kirkman is second in all the PAC with 9 rebounds a game. He's good for a double-double almost every night, Caleb. And he's been basically a lot of times 1-on-4 on the glass in a lot of these games. So someone's going to have to step up big on the boards tonight for the Yellow Jackets. Look for Jansen Knotts and Jake Scheit getting the start tonight. Look for those two to step up big on the boards.
And another area of looking for improvement is shooting. The team shot 29.2% against Teal from the field, 28.6%, 6 of 21 from 3. They did go 6 of 9 from the line, though. Matt Popek knocked down some free throws in that game as well. Looking at the Bethany Bison side of things, they are 2-15 overall, 2-11 in conference. 9th place in the PAC, coming off a 96-74 loss to the W&J Presidents. Asa Klimchak led the way with 18 points. Derek White Jr. with 13 and 11, had a double-double. Trent Uphold also contributed 11. But it was a good shooting game between W&J and Bethany. Bethany shot 42.9% from the field, and both of these teams combined for a lot of three-pointers. Bethany had 11, and W&J had 12, but the biggest deficit for Bethany was going 9 of 20 from the free throw line. But we're ready to go here, the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse, and Bethany controls the tip. Starting 5 for the Bison: Brendan Riggs, Asa Klimchak, Derek White Jr., Trent Uphold, and Travis Zimmerman. And for the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets, Matt Popek, Bryson Wiltz, Ryan Felberg, Jansen Knotts, taking DeJon Kirkman's place is number 33, Jake Scheidt. And there's the first air ball of the night, and the student section is letting the Bison know. The first possession of the game comes up empty for the Bison, and Waynesburg will take his first possession of the night. Inside to Knotts, double teamed right away, blocked from behind Derek White Jr. But the official won't let that one go, as there's a foul called. We'll see if it was on the floor or if Knotts was going up for the shot. It looks like Knotts was going up for the shot, and Derek White Jr. picks up the first foul of the game. Jansen Knotts going to the line for 2 shots. And Jeremiah, a guy that has been certainly stepping up for this Yellow Jacket team, especially in the second half of the season, has been none other than the sophomore from Ridgely, West Virginia, and Jansen Knotts.
Yeah, Knotts has been their best player since coming back for break. He's been PAC player of the, Waynesburg Athlete of the Week one time, and averaging just over 15 points a game in the last couple weeks.
Another thing has improved is his free throw shooting. Coming into tonight's game, Jansen Knotts shooting 64.3%. Free throw percentage was down in the 50s earlier in the season, but that has slowly gone up, and his point average has gone up as well. As White Jr. brings it up over, but Matt Popek steals it away. Absolutely no one there to contest, and Matt Popek gets on the board for the first time tonight. Early 4-0 lead for the Yellow Jackets.
Who says Matt Popek can't play defense? Come on now. Did you see that steal? Anticipation right there, Caleb Yager.
White kicks to Zimmerman. But there's a travel called on Zimmerman. A couple of turnovers for the Bison so far. And the Yellow Jackets have the early 4-0 advantage with 19:02 to go in the first half.
Yeah, look for Zimmerman to have the big game for the Bison tonight. 6'6" sophomore from Wheeling, West Virginia, Wheeling Park, West Virginia powerhouse, especially with DeJon Kirkman being out tonight, Caleb. Look for Zimmerman to be a big factor in this one.
Zimmerman averaging 11.7 points a game, 6.9 rebounds a game coming into tonight's contest. Good perimeter ball movement for the Jackets. Kick out Scheidt. Nowhere to go. 7 on the shot clock. Wilt with 6, Wilt with 5, with 4, spins, kicks out to Felberg. He's going to take the 3. Nothing but air. And White will bring it down the court for the Bison. Shot fake. Kicks to the outside. A 3-pointer is no good. Rebounded by Scheidt. Matt Popek in transition for the Yellow Jackets. The shot from the free throw line bounces in and out. And rebounded by the Bison. Bringing it down is Derek White Jr. Around the perimeter for the Bison. Zimmerman going inside against Knotts. Kicks it out, but the ball goes out of bounds first. And it ends up being Jacket basketball. Early 4-0 lead for Waynesburg. 17:42 to go in the first half. Back up to Felberg. Towards the top of the key. Goes back to the right wing. Knotts behind the back. Goes into the paint. Shot fake. finds his way through, in and out. Jake Scheit saves it. A smart play by the sophomore from Saxonburg, Pennsylvania. And Waynesburg retains possession.
Yeah, good hustle right there from Jake Scheit, throwing it off the Bethany defender. Keep a possession.
Felberg on the right wing. Had a little bit of space, but he didn't decide to take the shot. Back up to Felberg, and he will decide to take the shot, and he hits. Good ball movement by the Yellow Jackets. And Bethany is held scoreless in the first just over 2.5 minutes. 7-0. Waynesburg on top early.
One big thing in this losing streak as of late for the Yellow Jackets, Caleb, has been the play of Ryan Felberg. He's really struggled as of late. Good to see him start this game off early with a big 3 to go up 7-0. That could be huge heading into the rest of this game and this ending stretch here, Caleb.
And another thing about Ryan Felberg, there was a couple of foul calls on him. First, he had an offensive foul against Teal, and then he had a defensive foul that basically set Teal to the line in order to tie the game. And just overall, in all aspects of Monday night, it just wasn't Waynesburg's game. But they're on the right track right now. 7-0 advantage here at the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse. You're watching the Waynesburg University Sports Network. The second contest of the doubleheader. Riggs for 3, puts it in. And finally, the Bison find the scoreboard. 7-3 now. Bryson Wilt, the sophomore from Oakland, Maryland, averages 2 steals a game, top 10 in the conference in that category. Looking inside, great defense by Hiles. Popek finds some space. The jumper is long. He really likes to go off of that stop and pop from about 15 or 16 feet. That one didn't fall for him. Uphold on the right wing, gives it to the corner to White. One of the senior leaders on this Bethany team, avoids a screen from Zimmerman, but he kicks it out to Zimmerman. Zimmerman pulls off the front of the rim and bounces to the right into the hands of Ryan Felberg. Bryson Wiltz sets the tempo for the Jackets. Out to Felberg. Decides not to take the 3. Caught up at the right elbow. Jake Scheit now brings it to the top of the key. Scheit over to Wiltz. Wilt with 8, now to Popek. Popek now with 5 on the shot clock. Knots the jumper, puts it in. The right elbow jump shot from Jansen Knotts is good, and he's got 4. 6-point lead for Waynesburg. Just over 15.5 to play in the first half. Hiles kicks out to White. White uses the screen from Zimmerman, driving in against Felberg. Hiles takes the 3. It's good. Quinn Hiles from downtown. And now it's a 9-6 advantage for Waynesburg. Started off as 7-0. Waynesburg up early, but then Bethany decided to put in some baskets to make it a closer contested basketball game. It's still a 3-point advantage, though, for Waynesburg, as that offensive possession comes up empty-handed. Riggs over to Hiles. Hiles stops, gives it back out to Riggs for the 3. That's long, ends up in the hands of Scheit. Popek loses it out of bounds. There was pressure from Riggs, but Popek couldn't handle it.
Yeah, Coach Fusina really upset there, took a seat there. Back on his feet now, but yeah, Coach Fusina really upset. Very unforced error right there from the senior leader on this team, who ranks 2nd in the whole conference in points per game with just over 20.
Checking into the game for Waynesburg, John Tastinger has seen a couple more minutes in the past few weeks, couple games, excuse me, as Hiles finds a way through, and he's already got 5. It's a 1-point ball game now. Tastinger at the top of the key, gives it to Felberg. Felberg driving with the left hand. Scoop layup, no good. Tastinger tried to go up for it. Hiles knocks it out of bounds first. And also into the game for the Bethany Bison, Asa Klimchak. Klimchak averaging 13.4 points a game, just under 4 rebounds a game as well. Tastinger in the far corner. Gives it over to Wilt. Felberg decides to pull it from 3. Way short. Bounces down into the hands of the Bison. Klimchak, full court pass to Hiles. He stops and he pulls. Ball bounces up and hits the bottom of the shot clock. And that is out of bounds. And Waynesburg will take back possession. We'll try to get something going on offense again to increase the 1-point lead. 14 to play in the first half. Jackets trying to get a win tonight after losing 4 straight, affecting them in the conference standings. They still are in the 5th spot despite the amount of games that they have lost. Geneva's in the 4th spot, and as of right now, Waynesburg will be playing Geneva away on the road if the playoffs start today. As Felberg is fouled, we'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Nice to see earlier we're talking about Felberg hoping to have a big game for him tonight, get him out of a slump. Going back to what he used to be able to do, drive to the basket and get fouls on him and go to the free throw line as he throws up his mask as he had a nose injury a few weeks ago, Caleb, to shoot this first one.
Bounces left and right and misses. First free throw for Felberg, no good. Logan Wright into the game for the Bison. He picked up that foul against Felberg. Speaking of Felberg, averaging just under 7 points a game. And just under 70% from the free throw line this season so far. Second is true. And with 1 3-pointer, he adds 1 more point, and he's got 4. 2-point advantage for Waynesburg. Zimmerman kicks it out. Klimchak, lots of space, pulls. And that goes up and hits the top of the backboard. An unfortunate bounce again for the Bison.
That's not something you see too often, let alone on back-to-back possessions for Bethany.
Really.
Hitting the top of that.
Well, the Bethany women couldn't stop missing, but the fortunes have changed a little bit for the men's team. As Jeremiah mentioned, on back-to-back possessions, the ball has hit either the shot clock or the top of the backboard. But Tastinger drives in, nice feed to Felberg. He couldn't finish. Rebounded by Hiles, and Wright will pick it up for the Bison, gives it back to Klimchak past half court. 12:50 to play in the first half. Into the corner for McGee. Back out to Klimchak at the top of the key. Zimmerman, guarded by Knotts. Kicks it to the other side. McGee drives on Tastinger, stops, goes out. Bryson Wilt's hands there first. Kicks it to Felberg. Felberg down the lane. Contested by Wright, but he still finishes. He didn't finish a layup on the last possession, but he made up for it certainly. And Felberg's got 6.
Yeah, Bryson Wilt, those long, lanky arms, getting another steal. He's the best on the team and one of the best in the conference. Led the conference last year as a true freshman in steals, and showing that again right there.
Zimmerman can't hit it from deep. Wilt gives it to Scheidt. Up to Tastinger from Otto, North Carolina. Drives in. Finishes. And a chance to make it a 3-point play at the free throw line.
Yeah, Big John Tastinger getting a lot of minutes here as of late. Caleb didn't see him too much, but the freshman from the state of North Carolina proven a lot lately that he's pretty good on the offensive and defensive side of the ball for Coach Tim Fusina. One of the future of this program, young team. Popek, you know, it's weird because Najon Kirkman's a grad transfer, but it's only his first year, so I still think of him as a younger guy.
And this team in general is relatively young in terms of playing together. This is the first year where a lot of these guys are really playing together for the first time. As the free throw is good from John Tastinger. 15-8 the lead for Waynesburg now. Now you mentioned Jeremiah, we talked about it earlier on this season. This is really the first season that Fusina has his guys, and the only one that's left from the Mark Christner era is Matt Popek. And maybe Zach Ford on that team as well.
Yes. Yeah, so 2 guys though, Caleb, as Matt Popek comes away with a rebound. Yeah, two guys, and you know, he's getting his team, and then look at the quick turnaround. In just really 2.5 seasons, he's turned this program back to winners.
Popek's 3 is in and out. Bryson Wilt couldn't get the rebound amongst 3 Bison defenders. And White's on the right wing. Right wing. That's a tongue twister. Over to the other side to Wright. Wright loses his footing. And he'll pay for it with a travel.
Yeah, but as we were talking about, Caleb, real young team. The future of this team is very bright. Talking about guys like Jake Scheidt, Bryson Wells, Jansen Otts, Tassinger getting in, Anton Baker's only a sophomore, and even Ryan Felberg's back next year as a senior. This team is going to be good for the years to come.
Underneath, a little shoving or something going on. Bryson Wiltz falls to the ground. And the second foul picked up on Logan Wright. 4 team fouls for the visitors and none for the home team in Waynesburg. Long inbound to Matt Popek.
Little home court advantage on the fouls right now, Caleb.
Scheidt over to Knotts, back up to Scheidt. Inside to Wiltz. Nice find. Bounces around but doesn't decide to fall. Riggs kicks it over. McGee drives, loses the basketball, but a foul is called first on the floor. And that's going to go against John Tastinger. His first, and the first team foul of the half. White inbounds. Klimchuk can't finish. Facing 2 or 3 Jacket defenders. Popek triple teamed. Tastinger drives inside, tries to finish, but couldn't quite get it to go. Rebounded by the Bison. White Jr. kicks it out. Shot fake. Back up to White. Over to Klimchuk on the right wing. Back to White. Riggs kicks it over. Klimchuk. Guarded closely by Bryson Wiltz. Kick to the corner. McGee decides to pull. In and out. A lot of in and out shots for both of these teams so far in tonight's contest.
In and out like a burger chain there, Caleb.
I've never been to one, but I've always wanted to.
Very good. Just like that shot.
Speaking of which, Matt Popek knocks it down. And that's his 4th point of tonight. 9.5 minutes to play in the first half. 9-point lead for the Yellow Jackets. Here's White. Pulls it in front of Matt Popek and knocks it down. And finally, Derek White Jr., who averages 9.8 points a game, finally finds a scoreboard. And the lead is down to 6 for the Yellow Jackets. Tastinger on the top of the key. Decides to pull it. Long. And the rebound is long as well, but Knotts ends up with it. Inside, Knotts tries to finish. Nowhere close. Riggs had it in his hands. It goes out of bounds, and Rainsburg will stay with it.
I know Jansen Knotts missed that layup, but what a rebound right there from Jansen Knotts. Had 3 guys all over him. Was the only guy on the glass as Anton Baker checks into the game for Waynesburg. Another big rebounder, but big rebound right there for Jansen Knotts.
Earlier this season, Anton Baker had 16 rebounds against St. Vincent a couple days after Thanksgiving. Knotts' jumper is no good. It's rebounded by White, and here come the Bison in transition. Riggs from 3. No good. Rebounded by Popek. Back and forth we go. 17-11 to score. Waynesburg on top. The jumper pulls up. Bounces around the rim. Here's Hiles looking inside, and Wiltz kind of went up because of the potential shot, but he ends up paying for it, and Wilt will pick up his first foul of the night. That's only the team's 2nd foul, and Jeremiah, through the course of these couple games, Waynesburg has definitely had trouble in terms of fouls. That's really impacted them towards the end of games.
Oh yeah, especially, Tim Fusina is known for not really using his bench either, although I'll say he's used his bench more tonight than he has. There's a big block right there from Baker. But yeah, he's used his bench more tonight than he has pretty much the whole season.
Especially with Kirkman out, he's had to go to that bench. A lot of extra guys playing tonight. Knotts spins, pump fake, finishes. Right-handed layup on the left side of the glass goes in, and Knotts has got 6.
Yeah, nice up and under move right there from Knotts to get the bigger Zimmerman. He's got him beat by 2 inches, getting Zimmerman to jump, get him in the air, and go under for the easy 2.
The 3 banks in for Trent Uphold. Bank is open tonight, ladies and gentlemen, especially in the women's game. Banks were going in left and right from 2-point range and 3-point range. Tassinger on the left wing to Popak. Popak uses the screen from Baker. Baker tried the little pick and roll. Nice cut from Bryson Wilt. He tries to finish with the up and under, but he couldn't quite get it to go. White driving in fast. Dishes it off. There's going to be a charge called. Waynesburg will take back possession. And Derek White Jr. is going to be called for the foul. 2 fouls on him. Wilt at the top of the key, over to Popak. Popak driving, loses the ball a little bit, but retains it. Tastinger over to Wilt. Wilt decides to pull it from 3. That's no good. Ends up in the hands of Baker. Baker goes up with it, gets his own rebound, dishes it off to Tastinger. Shot clock will reset. There's 13 on the shot clock right now. Down to 10 for the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. Knotts over to Tastinger. Tastinger for 3. No good. And White will bring it down for the Bison. 6 minutes to play in the first half. Hiles over to White on the right wing. Kicks over, Uphold the 3. That's short. Bounces to the other side. And Baker ends up with it. Jake Scheidt will check back in. And there is going to be a full timeout called by Waynesburg by third-year head coach Tim Fusina. And Jeremiah, we were talking about earlier how this is the first year with these guys, of Tim Fusina's guys to be exact. But last season, coming into the first time that Fusina had the chance to recruit, brought in 20-plus guys, had an absolutely huge team. Of course, this season it has shrunk down, but it was impressive how many guys he got to his program.
Yeah, especially coming off a 6-20 campaign the year before. Very impressive to bring that many incoming freshmen. Now, obviously, all of them didn't stick around, including some guys who got a lot of time last year. Will Helton's the biggest one that comes to mind. He transferred, but still, a lot of big-time guys in that class. Jansen Knotts, Bryson Wilt, Anton Baker having a big night thus far, and Jake Scheidt as well. And a big time in this class from this year. I mean, you can even throw Najon Baker in there as a grad transfer, which I think we can all agree is the biggest pickup from that class. And then now guys like John Tassinger getting a lot of minutes, but guys also on the bench that we'll see in the future. I think Mitchell Price, once he gets into this scheme for Coach Tim Fusina, is going to be a big part of this future in this program, as well as several guys that we have yet to meet, Caleb, going to join the team here in the fall. So going to be good to see that. Before we get things restarted here, Washington and Jefferson and Chatham playing tonight. That is for the regular season conference championship. Washington and Jefferson leads Chatham at Chatham 27-13 right now with 11 minutes to go in that first half.
And when Chatham was here playing against Waynesburg, Ben Pollock went out with a bad ankle injury. The 6'10 senior really impacting this Chatham team. Baker, with time running down on the shot clock, has to force one up, but it doesn't even hit the rim at all. And Bethany trying to make it a closer game. It's 19-14, 5-point lead for Waynesburg. Klimchak kicks to the corner, Zimmerman a little quiet so far, doesn't have any points. Klimchak drives, step back 3, misses everything. What a nice rebound by Uphold. Riggs, no one around him. That's short. Rebound Scheidt.
two Jackets on the ground there. It looks like Tassinger and Popek ran into each other, and Popek a little bit limping right there, but seems to be all right.
Popek in the far corner, screen from Baker, decides to pull it. It's good. Matt Popek gets his first three-pointer of the night. He's got 7, and a huge basket gives an 8-point lead for the Jackets.
I think he's all right.
I think he is all right, too. Stolen away by Tassinger. Finally gets it to Popek. Quality minutes produced from the bench tonight. We mentioned the absence of Nijan Kirkman, the grad transfer from Allegheny College. And Scheidt working on the inside. Finds a way through and finishes. And he picks up his first points of the night. Double-digit lead now for the Yellow Jackets with 3:53 to go in the first half.
I know Jake Scheidt's listed as a guard, but man, he plays like a beast in the paint. I mean, that's his bread and butter down low right there. And at 6'4", I can see why. That's the one thing about this team, height. I mean, you look, Bryson Wilt listed at 6'3". I think that's pretty generous. I think Bryson's more like a 6'4". Jansen 6'4", Jake Scheidt 6'4". I mean, this youthful team has height, athleticism, and they can score at will. I know it doesn't really show tonight.
At Wilt.
At Wilt. Look at that. Look at that.
So we've been trying to come up with a bunch of puns, and there's a Wilt, there's a way.
Yeah, that's a big one.
But regardless, Waynesburg, you talked about this height, has really played a factor in terms of being one of the best teams in the conference in terms of scoring defense. Waynesburg second in the conference, only allowing about 62.7 points a game, and that's good for 23rd in all of NCAA Division III. But kind of one of the problems is they can limit other teams from scoring high, but sometimes if the offense is cold, they can't score high either.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Defense for this team definitely travels. It's just a matter of not if the offense is going to as well. But even though we've been on a little bit of a losing skid, I will say I think it's more of a balanced scoring on the live stats if you look at them from this team than in the past.
Klimchuk has it on the left wing, kicks it to the corner, looking inside to Zimmerman. Zimmerman finishes. A nice pass inside. And Zimmerman finishes on the left side of the glass. He's got his first points of the night. Thelber looking to drive the lane, had a little bit of open space. To Wilt. Wiltz from 3. It's good. Bryson Wilt. He's been able to knock down a couple of clutch shots from the outside. He's got his first points of the night as well. And Jeremiah, we've been talking about the ability of Bryson Wilt. And speaking of which, he can play defense as well. Finishes on the other end. Picks up 5 points. And the lead is now 29-16. We talked about Bryson Wilt being a little shy last year and earlier on the season, but it seems like he's kind of found his groove and knows when to take those shots and come up clutch for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, had a big game just last week against Washington and Jefferson, putting up 15 big points, and that one as Zimmerman gets that basket to go. Yeah, big game from Bryson Wilt, and he's really stepped it up. He's always had that defensive game, but really stepping up big on the offensive side the last few weeks, and really this whole season.
Knott's backing in on the inside. Popek tried to find him, but couldn't find a gap. There's a gap being found right there. Popek, pump fake, but good defense by White. Scheidt stops, pops, and puts it in. 5 points from Jake Scheidt, the Knock High School product. 1:56 to play in the first half. 32-18 the lead now for Waynesburg. Riggs kicks inside. Zimmerman going to work. But Jansen Knotts is also going to work as well on the defensive side. Ball stays with Bethany, but a good defensive play by the sophomore. You take a look at the student section, a lot of red, white, and blue. The theme tonight, USA colors. Probably also a good time because U.S. Olympic team competing in Beijing for the 2022 Winter Olympics. We got a foul on the floor.
Is that a crying Jordan meme I see, Caleb? Well, not
You
now.
know, nowadays at any sporting event, it's probably safe to say you'd see at least one of those at every event. Turnover by the Bison. Popek for three. That's long. And that one hits a wire on the basket. Still a 32-18 lead for Waynesburg. 1.5 to play in the first half. White almost gave it up. Was looking for McGee. Backing in against Fellberg. Tries to find Uphold on the other side. But it ends up in yet another turnover for Bethany. And that baby face, is that Stephen Ing?
I've been trying to figure that out, who that is for like the last 2 weeks. They've had that.
Oh, it might be Fellberg.
We're hearing from our producer, Tanner Saprowski. It may or may not be Ryan Fellberg. Ryan Fellberg, a fan favorite. Felly Buckets is what the students call him these days.
Scheidt backing in, it's Uphold, spins. Right-handed layup is good. The sophomore has 7 points now. I mean, he's only averaging 3.9 a game. That's definitely higher than his average. And he's averaging 2.7 rebounds a game. His bench really having to step up, as we mentioned. He's starting tonight in place of Najon Kirkman, who's on the bench right now. Bryson Wilt with another steal. Coming down the lane, one-on-one against White. He doesn't finish. Good defense by White. Stops Bryson Wilt with having another opportunity. Shot clock turned off. Zimmerman driving in. Scheidt got his hands on it, and he's looking towards the official, and he grants a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of Waynesburg.
Great defense thus far from the Yellow Jackets. I mean, only holding Bethany to 18 points right now, and guys stepping up. You mentioned Jake Scheidt. I didn't get to say, he doesn't play like a 3 points per game average guy. He's much bigger to this team than the stats would show.
Contributes in many facets for the Yellow Jackets. Maybe a little miscommunication. There was no shot put up before the end of the half. But our halftime score, 34-18. Definitely a good start. But the thing is, they've got to finish in the second half because Waynesburg has had big first half leads, but has been unable to finish in the second half, Jeremiah.
Yeah, that's been the big thing the last couple games, especially in this skid, has been finishing. You know, the game that comes to mind is the Westminster game, which would have been a huge win for Waynesburg University, especially moving up in the standings and trying to host a quarterfinal matchup. But that game, you know, they blew that game basically, Caleb. And then Monday night against Tiona, a game they should have won, blowing a lead in that one as well.
Halftime score, 34-18, Waynesburg on top of Bethany. We'll be back with more coverage in the second half. Jeremiah Miller will be taking the keys and be in the driver's seat. And Ron Headley is our halftime interview. But don't go anywhere, you're watching the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
Welcome back. I'm Riley Holsinger, joined alongside by Waynesburg head wrestling coach Ron Headley. Coach, thank you so much for joining me here.
Always a pleasure, Riley. I enjoy talking with you, and anything we can do for Waynesburg University, comm department, you guys do a great job here.
And it's the first President's Athletic Conference tournament back for you guys in a couple seasons here. Just how great is it to be back in wrestling in this tournament?
Yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it, just being back home, and it's always exciting. The PAC tournament, you never know, everybody gets gears up for that a little bit more, I think, and you never know what the other team's going to bring, so it's always an exciting time.
And earlier this season, you ended up announcing that you're going to be retiring at the end of the season here. So how nice is it kind of almost cap off your season with an event here at home? Now you still have regionals and nationals hopefully coming up soon here, but at least you get to have the PAC tournament back at home here in Waynesburg.
Yeah, it is. It's nice that, having it home for the last event from here, and hopefully we're going to have some alumni guys coming back. So looking forward to just seeing some guys that, won some titles here at Waynesburg, and those meant a lot to me as a coach here. So having them in the gym and just with our guys, it's been a tough year, but, I'm just looking forward to them giving us our best on Saturday.
And you've spent a very lengthy career in coaching, not only here at Waynesburg University, also spent some time at Waynesburg Central, Jefferson Morgan. What ultimately got you into coaching?
That's probably one of the main reasons I went to school. I wrestled, and then right afterwards, I graduated, and my old junior high coach asked if I wanted to be a part of it. And after that, I just really loved the coaching part, and I get so much more enjoyment out of watching guys accomplish their goals and coaching than I ever did as an athlete myself. And it's just something I've enjoyed even at the high school level, just coaching different sports and just working I just think you get to know the students a little bit better, and just that relationship means a lot. Not just the wins, losses, the competitions, but just getting to see them in different lights, and those things mean a lot to me.
And how tough do you think that is going to be for you to walk away from at the end of the season?
It'll definitely be different next year, just not having to worry about, hey, who's going to make weight, who am I going to have for this match, those kind of things. Those are things that probably won't miss as much, but just the one-on-one time, just being in the room and having fun with guys and enjoying that part, those are the things that I definitely will miss.
And one coach that's been by your side for the majority of your coaching career, John Yates, just explain a little bit more of the relationship between you two.
It's just, he was the high school head coach, and when my boys started back in junior high coming up through, I said, hey, I'd like to just help with that program. Took me on. Then I went up with my younger son when he got to the high school level, and John and I just seem like we've always been on the same page. We think a lot alike, and, I can't think of a better technician in the room, and just having him come back this last year and helping with our program again means a lot. He started here with me, and that's the whole reason I took the job. I said, hey, if you'll come on, I'll take the job here. And, he's just like another head coach. He knows the sport so well and works so well with our guys. It's just meant a lot to have him.
And another coach that you've spent a lot of time with recently, assistant coach Gennaro Bonaventura, just how great has it been working with him over the past couple of years?
Really good. G's taken on a lot of the responsibility as just like a head coach. Like he does a lot, the social media thing he's just really good at. And if you ask anybody, he knows every wrestler from everywhere, scouting, doing those, recruiting, and he's just done an awesome job with that. I can't say enough about how much he's done for our program.
And then over your coaching career here, not only at Waynesburg, Jefferson Morgan, or Waynesburg Central, you got to coach a lot of successful and accomplished wrestlers. Everybody points at Kerry Cole, Coleman Scott, and even recently Jake Evans. Just how blessed are you to be able to coach some really incredible athletes and wrestlers?
I think you hit it exactly right, Riley. I feel blessed. I think God's just put me in a good place here at Waynesburg, and I just give him the glory because it's not me. I just think the people that I just try to surround myself with good people and good coaches and guys that work hard in the room. We just try to get the best out of them. I just, really think that I've been blessed here and throughout. Just, it could have been anyone in those shoes, and just I always just look at it as just trying to guide them to have the best success they can have.
And I remember in an interview a couple years ago that I ended up having with you is you said one of your favorite things about coaching wasn't really being able to coach those successful guys. Now, that's obviously a great part of coaching when you have athletes that are that incredible, but it's also those guys in the wrestling room that work hard. And the one guy that pops to mind for me right now is Corey Supon. Guys like those. What really makes you like coaching guys like that?
Just that, they're not just about themselves. They're about the whole team aspect, and they'll do anything to help other people. And, you just know those kind of guys are going to be successful when they get later in life in a job. And that is, if I was a employer looking for someone like that to hire, you know that they're going to give you everything in the workplace because and he just would do anything, never miss practice, always there. And there's the time commitment that they put in and not seeing a whole lot, success on the mat, but just otherwise, it just says volumes of what they do. And, we've had so many of those guys that just contributed like that. And that's why it's been for me, even Jefferson, Waynesburg, and here, all those kind of things. From the lowest wrestler we had, the most successful, those things those I'll never forget, every one of them.
And your son, wrestling runs in your family as well. Your son was a very accomplished wrestler as well, now an assistant coach at Pitt. And you also got to work with him a little bit here at Waynesburg University as an assistant coach while he was here. Just how great was it that you were able to work with your son in wrestling?
It was a lot of fun. That very first year, he was still training at West Virginia and would come into our room and work out. And, it was just a great opportunity for me as a dad and get to see him. And now just going and watching him at Pitt. And, we talk after the matches. We talk after he was at and just talk about the pros and cons, things that could have done better at the matches. And, it's just one thing that I always loved about that, that we have that great relationship. And he's went on and done well at the coaching level.
And I know this is probably a tough question to ask you here through all your years coaching and all the probably great moments that you've had, but if you had to pick one favorite moment in coaching, what would it be and why?
I'm not sure if there would be one. I know that question comes up a lot. Is there one particular thing and I can't say that there is one. I mean, there's highlights. I mean, I look back at the Teal and W&J matches a lot of times when we thought we weren't going to win and somehow even the last one 2 years ago over there that we didn't think that was going to be able to win. And then I can think of the one time we're wrestling Teal and Anthony Bonaventura goes into overtime and then gets a fall, and just the excitement on our team bench and in the crowd, those kind of things, just really, and I can still, people had pictures of that, that excitement of everybody around, and those are things that do stand out a little bit about the program.
Yeah, and the last time that you ended up winning a President's Athletic Conference title, that was a part of the team back then, just a couple years ago. Yeah. And it was kind of one of those moments as well where we were down in the finals and everything. We had a lot of people step up, Matt Lascola, Josh Kuslock, and then Jake Evans closes off the night. What will you remember most about that PAC title right there?
You said, I think we had a really bad first round and I can remember us just huddling together and just bringing everybody together and just saying, hey, we had a bad round, now we need to make up for it this round. And just seeing guys rally and just that, I think it makes it even more special when you think, we could have went the other way, could have hung heads a little bit, but I think everybody just pulled together and, that makes it even more special.
So this is another big question right here. What has wrestling ultimately taught you in life?
I've always said as a coach, I think the discipline of it, my dad always just told me that no matter what I do, try to do it the best of my ability. And I think you do that when people are watching and whenever you're by yourself or you're trying to plan things out. When people don't see it, I'm still trying to do the best that I possibly can. And we've had a rough year, and I feel bad for our guys with injuries and things like that, but still every day just trying to plan a practice, trying to get our guys motivated just to get through, because I still care for every one of those guys that, how hard they work, everyone.
And one final question right here. What is next for Coach Headley?
Well, I have 3 grandchildren, so I got one that's just going to be turning 5 in April, a little boy, so I'm anxious. I was just wrestling with him on this weekend at his house. He has a little mat, so looking forward to that and spending time. And then, just like you've coached, it's been 40 years. I started in '82, 40 years of coaching. And sometimes you feel like you weren't there for your family, sometimes missing some of their things. And I just want to be there for them and seeing their families grow up and spending time with them.
Well, thank you so much, Coach, for joining me here. And make sure you tune in to WCTV for more Waynesburg sports content.
Thanks, Charlie.
Have you ever been to the Everly Library? If not, you should, because it's great. They have books of all different genres: history, biography, fiction. Try The Evolution of Life, Life of Pi, or Jurassic Park. So what if books aren't your thing? Try movies like Frozen, or TV shows like Lost. Books and DVDs aren't the only thing though. Take a trip to the second floor. Welcome to the Writing Center. These tutors will tell you everything you need to know about writing a paper, and they'll help revise your essays. Now let's head back down. Behold, the Knox Learning Center. Need to print something out 5 minutes before your next class because you procrastinated? No problem. You can also print off pictures of dogs. Because, well, you can. So grab your homework, laptop, and textbook, and study diligently. Bring your lunch too. Actually, you can't. That's illegal. Now you know the Everly Library. Stop by anytime. Seriously, it's open all week.
Right there on your screen, you see Anton Baker, sophomore guard from Cleveland, Ohio. You're watching the Waynesburg University Sports Network. I'm Jeremiah Miller, Caleb Yonger with me here for the second half action as Waynesburg University leads the visiting Bethany Bison 34-18, Caleb. And in that one, everyone but Anton Baker was able to score for the Yellow Jackets who got on the court. Well, look, Jansen Knott, 6 points. Matt Popek, he's got 7. Bryson Wilt, he's got 5. Brian Feldberg, 6. Jake Scheit, 7. John Tassinger, 3 for the Yellow Jackets. Scoring for Bethany. What do you got to do here in the second half, Caleb?
Simply make shots. I mean, you only score 18 and a half. Credit to Waynesburg's defense. But, you got to run plays to get guys open. I think Derek White has got to step up in a big way. Derek White's only got 3, and also Travis Zimmerman. Try to get him isolated on the inside, maybe try to get mismatches on the inside because Waynesburg, like we mentioned earlier, has a somewhat tall lineup, but, if Baker's not in, who's going to be guarding down low? Might be Knotts, but try to get a switch and try to get somebody shorter like maybe Scheit on Zimmerman and try to go to work on the inside. But for Waynesburg, you just got to do what you got to do. You just keep up what you've been doing in the first half, and things will go well for the Jackets.
There you see Bryson Wild and Jansen Knotts in the background now. Big part of this Waynesburg 34-18 lead as we're less than a minute from restarting here in the second half, Caleb. Yellow Jackets needing this one just to get some momentum back heading into the PAC tournament, which starts next Monday. Waynesburg currently in 5th place in the PAC, sitting at 8-8 overall in the conference, 12-11 overall. They play Geneva this Saturday in what would be a big game. I think it's already pretty much set in stone that Waynesburg's going to travel to Beaver Falls next Tuesday to take on Geneva. But Saturday is here, and that's going to be a big part in seeing what to expect come Tuesday.
Absolutely. And that Geneva team, I'll just tell you right now, they can shoot lights out, especially if they're playing at home. They've got amazing three-point shooters. Waynesburg has the second best scorer in the PAC, but who has the number 1 scorer in the PAC? Geneva and Lyle Tipton. And if he gets going, my goodness, he's unstoppable.
Yeah, both Tipton brothers. Waynesburg held.
Trevor hit 7 3-pointers against Waynesburg in the last match.
That's what I mean. Both Tipton brothers are great players, and that just seems, the Tipton family just seems to have a pipeline there with the Geneva Golden Tornadoes. Of course, sister Lauren was leading scorer for years at Geneva, and now Lyle and Trevor on the men's side of the team. But we're getting ready to restart action here from the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse. Bethany starts us out. It's Derek White Jr. Gets the screen from Zimmerman, drives, kicks it out to Klimchak. Klimchak kicks out White. White guarded heavy by Feldberg in the corner. Swings it around the horn. That's Riggs. Riggs passes it, and they're going to say it was tipped. They're going to say it was tipped, so it's going to stay Bethany basketball. Tim Fusina doesn't like it. Waynesburg doesn't like it, but Bethany's all for it. Cameraman Will Wilson down there, and camera you. Tim Durkin down there getting the ball, and we're here reset. with the Bethany Bison. White to the corner. Riggs. Good.
And that's what you need to start this second half. Get also Riggs going. He's a good three-point shooter. You get him open, get a good set position, he can knock down some good shots for Bethany.
Knotts, nice pass inside to Scheit. Scheit out to Wilt. Wilt makes a spin move. Inside 15-footer. Knotts. Corner to Feldberg. To Matt Popek for three. No good. Rebound still up for grabs, and they're going to say off of Waynesburg. Student section doesn't like it.
But what a good instance of ball movement. It was going left, right, all around the perimeter, inside, outside. But honestly, I think Bryson Wilt could have maybe taken a shot there. Another couple of other guys could have taken shots. Ultimately, it was a good shot by Matt Popek, but they came up empty-handed.
Klimchuk inside to Zimmerman, and Zimmerman can't get a hold of it, out of bounds, Yellow Jacket ball.
This has been another instance of the Bison trying to either force something or creating just an ill-advised pass, and this has led to turnovers, and it's negatively impacted them throughout the night so far.
Wilt has it now, over to Popek. Popek swings it to Feldberg. Feldberg, one dribble inside to Jake Scheit. Jake Scheit, inside, floater, no good. And here come White and the Bison. White, coast to coast, layup up, no good, rebound, Jake Scheit. Wilt, up the court, corner to Popek, he doesn't shoot it, driving in now, gets a layup, Popek, layup, it's good. Matt Popek, he's got 9 now. His first 2 of the second half, 36-21, Waynesburg leads by 15. Riggs into White. White, guarded by Feldberg, swings it across. Klimchuk, 3. Whole lot of nothing right there from Bethany. Student section letting him know. And Popek will inbound to Feldberg. Jake Scheit has it to the corner. Popek, a 3 off the rim and no good, and it's going to hit that backboard again, 3rd time today, first time for Waynesburg on that end, and the Yellow Jacket student section letting Klimchuk know how many air balls he has tonight with 3. Riggs now inside to White. White kicks it out. Zimmerman along 2, no good. Rebound, Jansen Knotts gets it to his roommate Wilt, and here come the Yellow Jackets. Wilt leading the way. Gets it to Popek. Popek to Scheit, top of the key. Scheit look for a shot, doesn't take it. Popek drives to the corner, drives middle now. Reverse layup's good. Matt Popek, he's in double figures. He's got 11.
The progression that we've noticed from Matt Popek over the years, we could probably agree in the past he's taken a lot of shots, and he does take a lot of shots in games sometimes. But this year, there's just something about him. He has this patience, and he has this unselfishness when it comes with the basketball. He loves finding his teammates, and when he needs to take the shot, he will definitely take the shot. And he's got good, smart shot choices this year.
We have a Bethany Bison timeout here. 38-21 your score. Yellow Jackets lead with just under 17 to go left in regulation. Caleb.
We'll take a look at the standings real quickly. Like we said, Waynesburg in that 5th spot at 8-8 in conference play. Number 1 team in the conference. It's actually tied for first. Chatham and W&J, and they're playing right now. And that's going to basically determine who's going to take the number 1 seed. W&J on top of Chatham big after the first half, 49-32. Winner of that one moving to first place. Westminster in the 3rd spot at 11-5. Geneva at 10-5. Franciscan 6-10 underneath Waynesburg in the 6th spot. Grove City kind of having a rough year at 5-10 in the 7th spot. Teal in 8th at 5-10 also. Actually, those 2 teams are tied for that spot. Bethany second to last at 2-11, and finally in the last spot, St. Vincent 2-14. And what a big turnaround for the St. Vincent program. Been one of the biggest powerhouses in terms of basketball programs for the PAC over the basically a couple decades, but this year it's completely different.
Yeah, that program taking a turn for the worst as we regain action. Riggs, a corner three, up and no good. Rebound, Bryson Wilt. Here comes Matt Popek. He's second in all of the President's Athletic Conference in scoring. Gets it over to Ryan Feldberg. Now he lets the offense digest. Jake Scheidt. Cross corner, Matt Popek. Step back three. You better believe it, Waynesburg. Matt Popek. He's got 14 now. 20-point lead for the Yellow Jackets. 16 to go. Zimmerman to the corner. Inside to White. He has a mismatch. He's guarded by Feldberg, and they're going to call a foul there on Ryan Feldberg. It's only Ryan Feldberg's first foul of the second half.
Another guy that's developed really well over the past couple of seasons is Ryan Feldberg. Came in, I mean, he was really, really small coming into, and then from his freshman year onward, he kind of had to take on the point guard position. But really coming into this year as well, just putting on some muscle and really, improving his game and becoming a huge part of this Yellow Jacket team.
Yeah, Feldberg kind of getting thrown into the fire really early, especially after Matt Popek tore his ACL. And Feldberg started practically the rest of the season. It's Ryan Feldberg, a long three right there, and it's good. Ryan Feldberg, he's got 9 points with a big three right there to extend this Jacket lead to 23. White, he's driving out, and we got a moving screen. That's going to be on Zimmerman. That's going to be Zimmerman's first, as Popek telling the troops to hurry up, trying to extend this 23-point lead and put the Bethany Bison out of their misery. Popek has it now, drive, step back. Matt Popek for three, no good. Rebound, Jansen Knotts, strong rebound, it's good. Jansen Knotts, he's got 8 with that strong offensive board right there. 46-21, Waynesburg leads by 25. White, he's driving now. Gets Feldberg up in the air, and Derek White's floater is good. He wanted the foul, doesn't get it. Nonetheless, Derek White has 5. Feldberg over to Wilt. Wilt to the corner to Popek. Popek looking inside. Dribbles it back to the middle, now gets it to Jake Scheidt. Scheidt to Wilt. Wilt inside, Knotts. Knotts gets Zimmerman to leave his feet, and Knotts misses the easy left-handed layup. And here come the Bison now. White over for 2. That's Logan Wright. That's his first 2 points of the night. 46-25. Popek coast to coast. And what a block there from Derek White. He got up on that one.
Got up is an understatement. Took flight is a better way of putting it. I mean, that was a great defensive play. Great hustle.
As White will go to the Bethany bench right there. What a play from Derek White Jr. right there. Showing off the vertical right there. And we're back in action here. Jake Scheidt over to Bryson Wilt. Wilt top the key, gets it over. John Tassinger. Tassinger, one dribble, back to Scheidt. Swings it around. Matt Popek fakes it. Now to Tassinger in the corner. He drives, 4 on the shot clock, and Zimmerman gets it. Now back to the Jackets. Over to Popek. Popek down low, and Bethany will come away with it. So both teams trading turnovers here, and now here come the Bison. Klimchak makes a move on Tassinger. Spin move. Klimchak misses the easy layup, and here come the Jackets. 3-on-2. Tassinger to Jake Scheidt. Scheidt reverse. No good. Rebound up for grabs and off of Jansen Knotts. Bethany basketball.
A little bit of back and forth action, but both teams not been able to finish layups. But a great opportunity for Waynesburg. Jake Scheidt had an opportunity there.
Foul on the floor as Zimmerman had it inside. Zimmerman saying he had it up while he went up for the shot, but that's going to be a foul on the floor. Zimmerman just not having the greatest of nights, only 4 points to his name, as Anton Baker checks in for Jake Scheidt. And we'll see what I call the spark plug of this Waynesburg University team can do.
Anton Baker, he's listed as 6'3". Feels like he's taller than that.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting, as I'm not sure what's going on here. We have the officials meeting, and they're going to call Travis Zimmerman. It looks like they're going to call a technical foul on Travis Zimmerman. I'm not quite sure what happened. I saw Zimmerman pleading his case with the official about he was holding him on the way up, and Zimmerman a little too animated, as there's going to be a technical foul, and Matt Popek goes to the line. He drains his first. So Matt Popek, he's got 15 now in this game. The senior from Washington, Pennsylvania, has 16 now. The all-time leading scorer at Wash High, and a 1,000-point scorer here at Waynesburg University. So now, after those technical free throws, Bethany gets the ball back. Right to Zimmerman. Zimmerman over to Riggs. Zimmerman guarded heavily by Baker. Zimmerman going to work. Great defense by Baker. Out to right. Klimchuk driving now. Spin move. Nice pass inside to right. Right kicks it out. Long two for Zimmerman. Up front of the rim. No good. Rebound Anton Baker. 48-25. 12:45 to go here in regulation. Wilt to Popek. Popek drives, kicks it out. Anton Baker, he's going to drive now. Baker, layup, it's good. Anton Baker, he's got his first two of the evening.
Driving the lane, finishing on the left side of the glass with the right hand. Nice job by Baker there.
And Anton Baker blocks Zimmerman's three. Zimmerman comes away with it, kicks it out to the corner for Hiles, and it's good. Quinn Hiles, he has 8. That's his second three of the night. 50-28 the score. Tastinger now over to Wilt. Wilt looking inside. Knotts has position. He gets it to Knotts. Knotts in the side. Left-hand layup. It rolls in. It's good. Jansen Knotts is in double figures. He's got 10 points. He's averaging just over 11 a game, and he's close right now to that average. Zimmerman inside. Nice steal by Tastinger. And here come the Yellow Jackets. Tastinger now bringing it to Wilt. Wilt now back to John Tassinger, swings it to Matt Popek. A three from Popek. Tuck me in. Kiss me goodnight, Matt Popek. A huge three right there. Popek has 19. 55-28 your score. And a timeout by Bethany. And the Yellow Jackets up by 27.
When you talked about they needed this, they're definitely making the most of it. I mean, they needed a win against, back all the way against Westminster. They needed it against Teal. And at this point, just desperate to try to get a win. And you also mentioned, you know, that it's basically locked in that Waynesburg will be playing at Geneva. If they would have won those past couple of games, it probably would be a different story in terms of who hosts that game. That 5th seed is basically locked for Waynesburg, and the hopes for that 4th seed is kind of out of reach now.
You can only control what you can control, Caleb. And even with Waynesburg going to going to Geneva, a place where Waynesburg won earlier this year, but fans will be at Geneva this time around. No fans back there in January for their last meeting, so I think that will play a bit of advantage. But if you can get a win tonight, and Saturday is going to be the big reason is how we look at that game going into Tuesday. Make sure you tune in Saturday. Truly, Caleb Yager and myself.
Yours truly and yours truly makes us truly.
Yours truly squared. We'll have the call of that one right here from the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse. 3 o'clock. But we got this game to finish as Klimchak misses another one. Anton Baker up there for another huge rebound. And here come the Yellow Jackets. Popek driving now. Popek kicks out Wilt. Wilt along to Cash Money. Bryson Wilt. He's got 7. 57-28, 29-point lead for the Yellow Jackets. White, he's driving to the right. Brings it back out. Cross court, Klimchak to the corner. And they're going to say Heil stepped out of bounds. Waynesburg University basketball, 10:40 to go here in regulation from the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse. And the Swarm still letting Klimchak know about those air balls. They are ferocious out there. Tell you what, these Bison sure can feel the sting tonight from the Swarm, Caleb. As Anton driving middle, Anton Baker, strong layup, no good. They're going to get a travel on Anton Baker.
And you mentioned the tenacity of the student section, but I mean, credit to them. They've been showing up all season long and supporting this Yellow Jacket team and making the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse a very tough place to play.
Yeah, definitely the Swarm has been in full force through the good and through the bad this season for the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets, as Tim Fusina has rebuilt this program into winners. As White possesses it now. Hiles goes up for the 3. Popek playing good defense. Hiles comes down, and that's a travel 10 times out of 10. And look who's checking into the game. Stephen Ing coming into the game. Haven't seen Stephen Ing get some action in a long time, but Stephen Ing, crowd will be happy about that one. A fan favorite, Stephen Ing.
Attended Oak Hill Academy. Familiar name because a guy named Carmelo Anthony is a product of Oak Hill Academy. You know that name, Jeremiah?
It sounds familiar. I think he had a pretty good career. As Tassinger, nice move, tough layup. John Tassinger, flex on him, young man. Strong layup goes. He's got 5. Of course, Carmelo Anthony, national champion at Syracuse with Jim Boeheim and future basketball Hall of Famer. As Anton, sloppy pass there to Wilt, but Anton comes back away with it and gets it to Bryson Wilt. And here come the Yellow Jackets, leading by 31. Corner, Stephen Ing, inside Jansen Knotts. Knotts goes to the middle, left-hand layup, it's good and 1. Tie me in a knot, Jansen Knotts. He's going to the free throw line for the old-fashioned 3-point play. He's got 12 with the chance of 13.
That's a new one. Tie me in a knot, Jansen Knotts.
I thought of it this morning.
This team has names where you can easily just put in puns left and right.
That's
what I love about it.
It's incredible. My favorite, so I can't claim it. When there's a Wilt, there's a way. That's our dear friend Joe Vinzel. He's actually on camera too tonight, but he came up with that one. But yeah, this team definitely has some good names to use for some puns. Derek White Jr. kicks out to Wright, long 3, it's good. Logan Wright, he has 5, 62-31 your score. Bryson Wilt now bringing it down, letting the offense set up. Gets it over Stephen Ing. He's in range right there, believe it or not, Caleb. He can flat out shoot. And Tassinger shot. And so can John Tassinger. He's got 8. And John Tassinger playing his best game this far in his young career as a Yellow Jacket. He's got 8 points, a career high.
He's going to be a huge part of this Yellow Jacket team in the future. Just watch, how much he's going to develop if he really puts in the work in the offseason. Because you're to be losing guys like Matt Popek and Najon Kirkman. It's going to be a question of who's going to step up into those roles, and John Tassinger is definitely a candidate for one of those spots.
It definitely helps when you're roommates with Ryan Feldberg. That guy has one of the best work ethics on this team. Say what you want about Ryan Feldberg, but the way he's been able to put on muscle this season has been great. And there's Anton Baker, breakaway. Anton Baker slams it home. Anton Baker just rocked the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse with a big slam right there. The crowd loves it. Another steal, and here comes Bryson Wilt. Wilt, the lob to Baker, and a layup. It's still good. 6-point lead for the Yellow Jackets. Boy, this Ruth might have came off the Rudy if that just went in for a slam, but nonetheless, the Jackets have a quick 4-point turnaround.
I don't know about you, Jeremiah. I was waiting for that, when it was going to happen, all season long. Just that breakaway. As soon as we saw it happen, I was like, oh no, here we go.
As Logan Wright makes another three, he's got 2 threes, now 8 points. We both stood up right at the same time. If he'd have made that alley-oop, I think my heart would have stopped because I could feel it as Stephen Ng, a long three, no good. Rebounded by Riggs, stolen by Tassinger. Here comes John Tassinger, and they're going to slow the offense down now. Back out to Bryson Wilt, as the energy level is as high as it's ever been here in the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse. Swings it, Anton Baker. Baker looking inside, gets it to Tassinger. Sloppy pass there, and it's stolen away by the Bethany Bison. That's Nathan Harris coming away with it. Wright driving in. Pops it back out to Harris. Harris guarded by Stephen Ng. Wright driving. Uphold to Harris. Harris makes a man miss. Harris a floater, and it's good. Nathan Harris, he has his first 2 of the night. 69-36, 6.5 to go here from the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse. John Tassinger, a long three, and it's good. John Tassinger, he's got 11. He's got 2 threes, and the freshman from Otto, North Carolina, is in double figures. Riggs, 3 with Tassinger in his face, and that hits nothing. Anton Baker with the rebound, and the Jackets slowing it down. And Big Sack Ford going to the scorer's table. A big fan favorite here. Stephen Ng for 3. Yes! Stephen Ng has 3 points. 35-36. Yellow Jackets lead by 39. Really getting to show off my math skills tonight, Caleb.
I do not have those.
I don't either. That's the point. Kick out, uphold, 3. No good. Rebound, Tassinger. And Tassinger, Baker was streaking down. He wanted another chance to slam one home. But the offense slows up, and Jansen Knotts possesses it. Over to Stephen Ng. Ng wanted that one. Jansen Knotts top of the key, gets it inside to Baker. Baker spins inside, 1 dribble. Baker showing the muscle off right there. Anton Baker, he's got 8 points. 77-36, the Jackets. I don't even know what the words are going to say, Kayla. I don't know what I want to say. The Jackets are just dominating on all sides of the ball tonight. Wright, a long 2, no good. Rebound, Stephen Ng. Ng slowing it down, gets it to Bryson Wilt. Wilt to the corner, Tassinger. Tassinger to Knotts. Knotts, long 2, hesitates, takes it now from the rim, no good. Rebounded by Uphold and the Bison. And it looks like Coach Fusina's putting the bench in. Zach Ford already there, joined now by Fisher, Dennis, Vidal, and Price. And Coach Fusina takes a 30-second timeout. And the fans are chanting Ford.
Built Ford tough.
Built Ford tough. See, there's another one right there. These names are perfect.
Classic.
As you can see,
just one of those nights for Bethany, and they had a decent game, not too long ago against W&J. I mean, both of those teams shot really well in that game. I mean, Bethany shot 42.9% from the field. They knocked down 11 threes, and W&J knocked down 12. I mean, both teams, like I said, shooting fantastic in that game, but it was at home. But Bethany all-time against Waynesburg is 29-7. But the past 3 matchups have belonged to the Yellow Jackets, and things have kind of turned around. It's a different story, especially within the past couple of years.
Harris guarded by Mitchell Price, freshman from Elkins, West Virginia. McGee, corner three, no good. Rebound, still up for grabs, and Carson Dennis comes away with it. Here come the Yellow Jackets. Carson Dennis, the freshman from Parkersburg, West Virginia. Gets it in the corner to Price. Price, Zach Ford, inside Jordan Fisher. Fisher, left-hand hook, no good. Rebounded by Harris. Harris driving now, right-hand layup up, no good. Rebound, Zach Ford, and the crowd loves that one. Nico Vidal controls the point right now. Ford had size inside, now he has it. Zach Ford kicks out Carson Dennis. Dennis, he's going to drive now. Dennis kicks it over to Mitchell Price. Price, layup, no good. Rebound still up for grabs. And Vidal's going to come away with it. Vidal driving now. Swarmed by the Bison, and it's a steal. And here comes McGee. McGee over to Derek White. Derek White, layup is good. Derek White has 7 points now. Almost less than 3 minutes ago. 77-38 your score. Waynesburg University leading. You're watching the Waynesburg University Sports Network. I'm Jeremiah Miller, joined with Caleb Yager. Nico Vidal, three, no good. Rebound possessed by Nathan Harris and Bethany. Up the court, Logan Wright, reverse layup, it's good. Wright's in double figures, he's got 10. And we got a timeout by Bethany. Jacob Sanders will check in for the Bison. Coach Fusina talking to the Jackets real quick. As this is the future, well, minus Zach Ford, but he's a senior. He'll no longer be with us after this season, the senior from Chartiers Houston High School, WPIL product. But Price, Dennis, Vidal, Fisher, all freshmen on this team, and are hopefully going to be a big part of this Jacket turnaround. There's a couple other guys who will be a big part. All four of those guys on your screen right now will be back next year. Dennis now possesses it over to Mitchell Price. Price looking inside to Ford, kicks it back to Dennis. Dennis now. They're looking inside to Zach Ford. He's got the matchup on right. Fisher inside to Price. Price, layup, no good, blocked. And to Zach Ford. Ford, easy layup, it's good! Zach Ford on the board with 2 points. The crowd loves it. The Waynesburg bench loves it. And Caleb, I have to say, it's made me shed a tear. As a long three from Bethany, no good. That was Hunter Davis. And here come the Jackets. Vidal driving all the way. Right-hand layup, no good. Rebound, Carson Dennis. Dennis, the strong layup, it's good. Carson Dennis has 2 now. His first 2 of the night. And here comes Harris and the Bison. Out of bounds, staying. Bison basketball. 1:26 to go here in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. 81-40 your score. Davis along 2. It's good. Hunter Davis has his first 2 of the night. Let's see if the young guys on this team, although this whole team's young in general, but the guys who usually don't get in. Fisher, nice move, layup, no good. Nice move inside by Fisher, just couldn't get it to fall. McGee, corner 3, no good. Off the back of the backboard again, on the top. That's like 4 or 5 times tonight, Caleb.
The banks and the ball going out of bounds because hitting the backboard of the shot clock. Those are the 2 things that have been happening quite frequently tonight.
While we still pay attention to this one, Washington and Jefferson leading big at Chatham, 66-48, with about 12 minutes to go in regulation. As Vidal with a long 3 off the back of the rim, no good. It hits the shot clock again. But
it's laughable at this.
It is. It's laughable at this point because both teams have done it. But as I was saying, Washington and Jefferson about 12 minutes away from winning the PAC regular season championship at Chatham. That would be a huge win for the Presidents, and something I have to say I don't think anybody saw coming this year.
No, I mean, You know, Waynesburg and W&J are definitely rivals. But that team definitely, Waynesburg is a program that's revived, but also W&J's revived. I mean, W&J in the past hasn't been, always a top caliber PAC team. But this year, that's certainly a different story.
Jacob Sanders scores the last 2 points of the game for Bethany, but that's going to do it for us from the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse. Final score, Waynesburg University 81, Bethany 44. What a game by those Yellow Jackets in a big way to get a resurgence here for this team heading into the conference tournament here in less than a week, Caleb.
And it was good tonight to get that win in a big, big way. Almost basically doubling the score of Bethany. I think they just needed to take out that frustration of losing 4 straight and try to just get things going, because you got to get things going soon, or you're done for in the playoffs, because they start next week. But one more home matchup against the Geneva Golden Tornadoes, and it's definitely not going to be this type of score at the end of it, because Geneva is a great three-point shooting team.
As we see, the fans still letting Klimchok know about it. And we'll end on that note right there. Final score, 81-44. Waynesburg University holds on in this one. Big win for the Yellow Jackets, back in the win column. That's going to do it for all of us, for the Waynesburg University Sports Network. For producer Tanner Soprowski, Brock Owens in the truck, Raleigh Holsinger earlier for the women's game. For Caleb Yalger, my dear friend and announcer, I'm Jeremiah Miller. We'll see you back here Saturday as the Yellow Jackets host Geneva in the final game of the regular season. Thank you for tuning in to the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
This has been a presentation of the Waynesburg University Sports Network.